Here we go. Gotta get scared.
Maybe. Please. Okay, we're in the green. I believe we are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Retroverse. We probably will most definitely have a lot of technical difficulties because the internet is just like, hey, F you. So,
Thanks, internet.
if somebody doesn't respond, then somebody doesn't respond. So,
awesome to Comcast.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on today,
But
That foolish, she was like, hey, Comcast, some of our channels aren't working properly. They're like, okay, we'll reboot. Apparently 30 times. But
anyway.
Verm couldn't make it this session, so he's going to take your prisoner that you guys got last time, and they're going to go out front, and he's going to interrogate him and keep watch up front, I guess.
Okay.
So, when we last left off, our group was going after this crazy cult that worships the first laser dragon named Radicule. They followed tracks from this kobold settlement that they found in the woods, the kobold biker settlement, all the way to this abandoned Nevsky soda factory. And we quickly realized it was not abandoned. Quite the contrary, it's filled with many things. Many things that explode and radiant damage, like skeletrons, and a few corrupted animals, the Vorhawks.
which would die. You guys would hear their mama.
Yep.
No! They won't die. We'll come back for them.
We'll say Verm's like protecting babies or something.
Yes. Hopefully you can get a signal up there and call somebody.
Would Retroverse have... never mind. Anyway, so, you guys are... You guys, I believe, were in a little room you guys closed off. It was like a computer terminal. And it had its own self-generator going.
Mm-hmm.
And Verm's just like, I'll just keep those to the front.
Cool. Okay.
And his little spider's just like, with his little hand just like waves, and then they go off.
I love this fire. I know, like, her sisters are like, cool. His feelings.
The hostage or whatever, the one that was already covered in goo, but you guys retied him up, is still unconscious, and Verm put it on the back of his Zord spider, and they went off. So now you guys are alone in this room. There was that computer. It had vanilla folders, right? Remember correctly?
Yeah.
That you guys were sorting
like
through.
that. Yeah, there was the computer, and then there was the I don't know if the mic picked that up, but the dog is chewing away on his treat, and he just burped like super loud.
I didn't hear it, so I don't know.
But yeah, I believe Hertz was marveling over the insanity that is an actual computer that's not a tablet. And I was going through folders.
Yeah.
Because he did not understand how paper works.
That's right.
No, we had left that area. We were, further up, we found that dude that was trapped on the ceiling.
Yep. I thought you guys like cut him down and dragged him back.
Yeah.
So I think there was another room through here where we saw like a shitload of dead cultists and these alien guys. Which I don't remember. Did we figure out their names?
The Brimlings?
Yeah, them.
Now I think of it in character, you don't know. You've never gotten their names.
They're just alien guys. Maybe we'll call them like mantoids. They look a little bit like praying mantises.
That sounds like alright, mantoids. You bad.
So you guys, they were in the hallway. It was like you guys saw that post-battle, and all these mantoids, the Brimlings. They were all dead except for one. and then it like died as you guys showed up.
Mm-hmm.
And
then while we were investigating, a bunch of explodey skeletons came up the stairwell.
Yep. And then you guys beat them up until they exploded. Surprisingly effectively well in melee combat.
As I recall, at least some, if not all of us, are actually still hurt from that fight.
Yeah, you guys want to take a short or long rest?
Yeah.
That hurt.
Oh my god, you didn't get hit, that's right! I'm
first.
only down by 18, so I'm fine to keep going. I only used one of my spell slots, so...
Hertz is actually glowing because she uses maturity on herself. Prestidigitation, I'm sorry. Just like, pachoo.
Are you okay? You look like you're struggling. I was looking at him, but it's so hard because, like, here's the camera, but, like, he's across from me.
But I'll say in those vanilla folders, you guys also... I know you... Uh-oh, are they going to kick out? Hopefully not.
It looked like it, but I don't think so.
Your frames went down to like 2 per second or something. It was really slow.
Yeah.
But in the vanilla folders, you guys picked out the one specific file. What was it again? You guys remember?
There was one talking about like something about a battery, and it was like a battery that was like nuke level powers.
That's right. It was a laser battery, which you'd never heard of before, and in real life would not make any sense at all. But Retroverse, laser is a power, so
and then
you can use it as fuel.
had that uncomfortable thought of wondering whether or not the Dragonborn were being used for batteries.
Yep. My only notes are a tiny spider with fireworks.
I don't take notes for this one. I just remember it for whatever reason. It's the other group that I have like intricate notes and like in character diary. Here, it's just like Visca doesn't care. She remembers the general idea.
Do you guys try to go through any of the other vanilla folders and stuff?
I can give them like a once over, but nothing.
If anything
like,
interesting like pops up, then I'll point it out.
The filing cabinet, the 2 top ones are like the alphabetized, and then the third one down below is locked.
Can I try to open it?
Do you have a way of opening it, like
Thieves' tools.
Thieves'
or
tools?
something?
I don't have thieves' tools.
Do you have thieves' tools?
Does Hertz keep hairpins on her? That would work. I'm rolling for it, and she does.
Yeah, I mean, like, her hairstyle has pins in it, but yeah, she'll grab that and she'll be like, what about this? Huh?
Might work. Try it.
Okay, I'll try it.
Give me
You're
a
lot more
sleight of
dexterous
hand.
than me.
Yeah. And I'm
Big
proficient
ol'
in sleight of
me
hand, so.
Balls can't handle that.
I got 23.
Oh, damn.
In what seems to be no time at all, and what looked like a one fluid motion, she just effortlessly unlocks the cabinet and just opens it.
Nice.
And you see there's a lot less files in here, and it's actually not completely filled up. And a few of them are actually the accordion folders, where they're like tied up and closed. And you see like they have red like top secret stamp on them and everything.
Ooh, yeah, that looks awesome. I'm gonna read that shit.
Yeah.
Give me an investigation check.
Oh god, dice.
Information is okay.
We're gonna do the blue one because that's the one that gave me, I think, like 4 natural 20s last time.
Yeah, you exploded a Warhawk in one hit.
I got 6.
I got a 19! I rolled it! I love this dice.
Okay, Hertz is about to open the first
I'm
one.
just imagining, like, we didn't pull the other one all the way out, or didn't push the other one all the way back in, so I'm, like, looking through and reading, and I just hear, fuck, as Hertz just smashes her head on the one above her.
Hertz still doesn't her, so she just went like she's trying to like open the like envelope by pressing on it. She's like, why won't it open?
Okay, I just was looking at chat. I wanted to make sure audio was alright. Being all weird like that. Right before Hertz goes to pick up the first folder, you notice weird, very faint circular symbols right underneath the vanilla folder.
I'm gonna stop her. There's something under there. Does it look like a magical ward or something?
Give me an Arcana check.
Mm-hmm.
Can I help?
Sure.
Yeah, you do it, because Visk is terrible with this shit.
I got a 18.
I got a 1.
Not,
So you notice it, and she's like, I don't know, there's some doodles on the bottom of the chest.
well,
I'm just like, I know it's magic. I don't know anything about it worth that.
I like to think she's like a barbarian, where it's just like this sense of danger from it. She's like,
Kind of.
no,
It's like, I just got
that
stuck.
bad.
I don't know magic that well.
don't know, but it's bad. You know, kind of feeling internally. The Hertz. She points it out. You realize it's a glyph of warding, and a glyph of warding is a triggered trap.
Yeah, I heard some bad shit about this kind of juju. Unfortunately, I don't have dispel magic like somebody else I know.
Oh, no, sorry. My volume's on. I pulled up the stream online. I
So,
do not think...
unless there's any other way than dispelling it.
I think that's too high a spell level for me to know. However, is there a chance that we can, like, stand back and shoot it and that'll set it off? Now that we noticed it? Ow, but shit, then that would destroy whatever's in there.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know Dispel Magic at all, or you would have to wait for tomorrow?
I don't think I can learn spells.
Well, since Weaver has its own spell list, it just...
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure if you get Dispel Magic as one of them.
Yeah.
Like, I know I have it, but Visca doesn't have third level spells yet.
You know, certain things will trigger it. It doesn't have to be touching it. It could have went off the second you guys got too close, but it didn't. So you don't know what will set it off. But there's definitely one there. And from what I'm reading here, you'd have to either dispel it or set it off.
Yeah, so I'm thinking...
Oh, unless there's a password.
There might be a password.
You got high enough above the Arcana. I'm just telling you everything about the spell.
Was there a password on the computer?
Was there
I
like
think there was.
folder password?
Well, no, I thought you got like a really simple password to get into the computer. It might be the same.
I go over, look at the ward, and go, password 1. 40.
You're just yelling at a drawer. This is nothing.
Yeah, I vote let's stand back and maybe shoot it. Maybe it's if something touches it, maybe.
Or you can. I have Misty Step. I can just nudge it and move Misty Step away.
I don't know that you'll be able to move that fast though.
Do you go back to the computer?
Hold on. Can I just say, I can go 80 feet per movement. So
Yeah, but not as a reaction.
that's fair. Okay, I'll go back to the computer and see what I can find.
Okay. So you get back on there, and you notice quite a few files, something about them missing a very important project when they had take your son to work day. They're scared that their kid took something really important, like could accidentally kill somebody important, and
What kind kind of soda were they making here?
Danger.
This isn't the soda section. This is the top secret area you guys are in.
Oh yeah.
This is like amateur science shit.
Something about something about their new sunburst soda. You're not sure what that means, but new sunburst soda. You do eventually find a spot where the guys they have daily logs, scientists, about what they've been doing from day to day. One of them was the child incident. Another one was the he talks about the top secret files and how he put a password on there in the drawer, but he doesn't say in there.
Do you share that with us?
Yeah. Maybe it's sunburst.
What? Maybe it has to do with that guy. Maybe if we can find like the personnel files, maybe it's like his son's name or his birthday or something.
Maybe. How would you just yell at the drawer to like how do you?
You're the magic person.
I'm trying to think. Like,
do you just think it, or do you like?
You scored 5 over the Arcana DC, so I consider if you get like +5 more, it's a greater success. So you just know everything about whatever that knowledge check is. Well, -5 is you know nothing. You know that if you say the word within 30 feet, whatever the password is, you should be fine. It shouldn't go off. It will still be there. It just won't go off.
Okay. And then, is there like if you just say like stuff around it, it's not like gonna like explode randomly if you like do we have so many attempts or just can yell words at it?
You have as many attempts as you want, but there's no visible cue if it worked or not.
Right. Okay. That might be a problem.
I just realized how crazy this spell is. Never mind.
You did just say that there's a trigger, so unless the trigger is saying the password wrong 4 times, or like saying a specific keyword that they don't want, like I don't know, saying the phrase FBI because they don't want the police to see what they're doing or some shit.
You're pretty sure the trigger is taking the vanilla folders out.
Okay.
I mean, it would be safe to assume.
I'm gonna start digging through the. Can you not, son? Digging through the other folders, see if I can find personnel files on the guy that we think set this up.
Give me an investigation check.
That's a 7.
A bunch of new soda flavors they're coming up with, but that's pretty much it.
Anything good?
I mean, they were called like Crystal Pop, but it didn't really take off. Most people weren't a fan of that one.
There's this one crazy one called Ion, and it was spelled IOUN. You're not sure what that one was about. You see, another one's Leo's Luscious Liquids, and they immediately scratch it off as, wow, that's a really horrible name. We're never going to make that. They've got a whole color scheme of ones where there's like green mist or pink mist is one, and then one fairly stands out to you the second you see it, and it says Red Raditar.
Oh!
You remember the Red Raditar from in the maze? They have a file on it. So does it look like they actually made it, or it was just like, this is a thought we had?
With your investigation, you just found the one that had the name on it, and pretty much the rest of the document is blackbarred.
Ah, shit. Well, so, hey, I found a thing about the maze that makes me a little, nervous. And I'm gonna show it to her.
Was Red Raditar only in the maze? Like, did I see it outside of the maze?
Do you still have that can you saved?
Yes.
Do you have it on you?
I don't know, like, why would you be carrying around just random
That's why I had to ask.
I probably would have just left it.
Okay.
I mean, you do have your adventuring stuff with you.
That's fair, but like, I don't know, like.
That's like a 2-year-old energy drink,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I can understand not
Still,
taking it.
Sorry, the internet.
I'm like, so that makes me worry, especially about, I don't think you ever met him, our robot friend from the future who tried to murder me.
That's right. You told me about that, but
Yeah,
don't
you
think
showed up literally 10 minutes after we killed it.
Yeah, you know what I was doing back when that was happening?
Yeah, so, if you'll recall, he had a picture of me from the future.
Uh-huh.
And now we're seeing stuff that this drink exists in our world. So now I wonder if the maze wasn't a separate dimension entirely and it was somewhere in the future. Or, like, I don't know, maybe they could...
It could just be another
Actually-
plane, like Sigil.
That's what I was actually
or-
thinking of. What's Sigil?
You mean the Nacho-verse?
You guys have heard of the Nachoverse, and you've heard of the donut. It's on top of this really big spire, but not a sigil.
I like to imagine that Hertz like knows about really old like plane names.
Don't you have the player background?
I don't.
Oh, okay. I thought you did.
I have the Prodigy background.
Oh, that's what it was. I'm like, but it could be, now I think about it, if they're drawing these kind of weird monsters, could they have opened a door to the maze? Because this is the only other place we've found the like, mantoids.
I assume they had something to do with the maze because last time we found something else that was also like
Reminiscent of the maze.
yeah.
Well, like, there's the goo on the walls and everything, but I thought that was what the mantoids do.
Yeah. So okay. We need to get into that drawer because I'm sure that there's stuff in there that we need to know about, and then we also need to figure out why are they still here. Like obviously this has been out of operations for 50 years or so. I don't know. Like
I think
look at the answer our phones. Why are there still stuff here?
you don't know why, but there's interference in your phones here too when you're in the building.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying it's like around
Is it like circa
1999?
Yeah, is it circa 2000 phones or circa 2018?
She's got, like, hers is like ridiculously fancy.
I'm just imagining like that
Fantasies
Razor
phone?
phone from like 2003.
But, like, hers has the most fancy phone you guys have, and it's a block phone. So,
And it
yeah.
can't be used as a weapon. We've talked about this before.
Yes.
Now you guys talking to me,
Yeah.
and you said you think moving these out is what sets it off?
Yes.
We think getting to it, yeah, touching the folder.
Where have you been? Come on, man. Can I keep up?
I figured he was keeping watch, you know, so that more blowy up skeletons didn't come and surprise
Yeah.
us.
How
I've been just
advanced
playing with Sir Barks a lot.
is Sir Barksala?
Well,
Like his sensors and stuff. Is it like 2018 level?
What are you trying to see? If he could see through if he has like X-ray vision and see into the folder?
he's
I mean, he scans other things. If he has like a microscope, he can scan through the layers and reconstruct it later.
he's got what your Zord abilities give you at the class, and what the Direwolf abilities are.
Can Direwolf's
And
X-ray vision?
and a cell phone holder and a USB port in his butt.
Given him other things too already. He's already scanned and downloaded and compressed and compiled electronic data.
Wasn't that just so you could copy it as a weapon?
Yeah.
I also used the super advanced chip from the guy and had him scan that. And then build things.
You did bring that chip home with you, which
Do you still have that with you?
Bismuth doesn't know anything about it, but Katrina is worried.
Yes, I got the chip with me. I'm trying to sell it, but everyone keeps
Yeah, no,
telling me
he
not
totally
to.
brought that shit home and played with it in the garage for like 4 weeks.
And I tried to like shoot it out of his hands, but it did not work.
A group called Liacom was going to try to buy it off you, but you didn't trust him.
I'm thinking our best bet is to try and set it off. If we can't come up with a password, maybe try like a couple more, and then just
Is it
grab
just
it
the
and
one
run.
word, or is there more cabinets with more words?
As far as I've seen, it's only the one cabinet and the one ward.
There are multiple cabinets here, and I'll just say you guys didn't find anything really of use in there. Maybe office supplies, like old office supplies. Probably aren't even functional anymore.
You walk by it, and then you have that weird, like, kleptomaniac impulse to be like, I don't have enough pens at home. Wait, no.
Oh, actually, I'm going to roll for that. Give me a second.
Can I get stapler, please?
You roll for kleptomania of office supplies.
Sorry to disappoint. You find a stapler, but no staples.
Oh! I take it.
Is it like one of those fun staplers where, like, you can flip it up and, like, shoot people with them?
A staple gun?
No, it's like it's the
there's a staple gun,
stereotypical.
and then there's the regular one.
It's a stereotypical like page holder, heavy black stapler.
I'm taking that stapler.
You remove the drawer, putting the drawer back and forth doesn't set the word off.
I think just picking up the folder would, because it's lying on the bottom of the thing.
You guys find
Are you thinking of pulling the entire drawer out and seeing what happens?
one ballpoint pen, two number 2 pencils,
Somebody already robbed this place.
and about 5
They
pounds of paper,
When they left, they took everything, man.
and a plastic toy gun.
Interesting.
It's
I mean, that's not the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my office.
It has that Sunburst soda. You assume this was going to be the logo for it. It's on the side of this toy gun.
Must be like a promotional toy or something.
Maybe, I guess.
But yeah,
I go yell at the chest. Sunburst.
Okay. You know there won't be any visible things.
I'm gonna get down on the floor and try and look up underneath of this thing and see if I can see if the word extends through the bottom of the drawer.
It's the bottom drawer, so you can't really get underneath
Okay.
it.
Does anyone have a mirror?
Everyone looks at hers.
I mean, probably. Should I roll for mirror?
Give me a D100 roll. Why not?
Okay.
Oh, the Explorer's pack does not have a mirror.
I got. Oh,
A mirror would be pricey.
it was 62.
No, you don't.
Sorry.
The burglar's thing might come with one.
Actually, I'll say you get the little the powder makeup thing, and you got that mirror.
Okay.
That'd be a reasonable
I
mirror to
I
have.
don't carry on like a full-length mirror. That'd be ridiculous.
Sorry, when I was thinking mirror, I was thinking the one the player's handbook has like 100 gold, silver hand
no.
mirror. Oh.
No, compact.
Yeah, you got a little
That doesn't make
compact.
much sense in Retroverse.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, you got a little
I
compact.
just
mirror.
accepted that for some reason and moved on.
Yeah, one of those.
Yeah. Mine's upstairs.
I have a little magical sparkly one that looks like a Sailor Moon toy.
Yeah, so I'm gonna see if I can use that and try and see anything underneath the drawer.
Okay, give me a perception check. Spooky.
13.
You find a few dust bunnies. They hop away. But that's pretty much it.
I don't see anything.
God.
Give me a screwdriver. I'm gonna see if I can help. Look, we're gonna take the screws out of this bitch and pull the entire drawer out.
Give me
I
a group.
feel like that would set it off.
Kurtz, you might want to leave the room.
Kurtz is already standing behind Yas.
To get it so we don't have the entire session be in this room, can we get a group investigation roll?
Okay. We're idiots.
No, you're not idiots. It's just, it'll take a while to figure out.
I got an 8.
What are we rolling?
Investigation.
Oh, okay.
Something everyone's really good at.
I got a 19.
Listen, I have a +2 intelligence. Like, I shouldn't be bad at it. I'm just rolling like shit.
I have a +0.
Ghost?
I got 18.
Really? Okay.
I do find that funny.
With
That
your
we're the
group?
two that are talking about unhooking this drawer.
Okay, you guys passed the group check. You're thinking with all the information that you've gathered so far, Sunburst is probably what it is. From all the documents and stuff you guys are looking at.
But she'd been saying it at the drawer.
Yeah, but there's no visual cue.
Oh, so we think it's already safe.
Yeah.
I pushed.
Alright, I'm still gonna say you leave the room and I'll pick it up.
Yeah, I'm just like ready to hightail and like standing behind both of them, like.
I'm gonna kneel down and I'm pulling my shield up in front of my face and I'm gonna reach around and grab the.
Zooms in on your hand, zooms in on your face. Like the group's reaction, everyone's like,
Their
like,
barks
freaking
a lot.
out.
It's like anxiously barking from the doorway.
and you quickly pick it up. And nothing happens.
Hey!
Your girl came through. I knew the password.
Yeah, half an hour ago, we're just dumbasses.
I feel like that was in game, like we were sitting there.
Oh yeah, no.
Just the math lady meme all over the place.
Yeah. So I break that shit open.
Yeah!
Project Red Raditar is in here. Project Sunburst is in here. Project Wyvern is in here. And Project Dino is in here. And they don't have the sensors on them. These are the same documents you were looking at before, but these aren't censored.
What does it say about Red Raditar?
They were experimenting with this new element that they had invented called radium.
That sounds healthy. Hertz, how many of those did you drink?
2?
Maybe don't want to drink the last one.
They hadn't gotten to human testing yet. They actually just started human testing when the place closed down.
Testing already done.
You don't know whether this was the same version of what you had or not.
That's fair.
Signs for the it has like the full lab reports and results, and like we'll start with like mice or something. First results. In fact,
Did you say
yeah.
radium or radium?
Radium.
Okay, because
It's going to be spelled. Yeah, I know it is. It's spelled the same too.
Confused.
It's spelled the same, but it's Retroverse being. I mean, if we went by 80s logic, I'd be like, it's uranium and you have superpowers. You know, it's like same.
They give you horns.
It's cartoon logic. I'm going with cartoon logic here. The
Like they're radium or whatever.
unobtainium R.
came from a meteorite or something. I don't know. Anyway, so
Element X.
cat, wrong cat. Damn it, Garfield. I need to just call you by your name. Get out of here.
You said they
the
started with
results.
mice.
A lot of the results were the grew horns, ridiculously huge increase in muscle mass, about 250% muscle increase for 5 minutes or so. 90% chance of lethality as the mice exploded on the first experiments. These are like the first ones. And as you just go down the list and they get to like chimpanzees and stuff, it's getting better. They're getting a lot more stable with the molecular structure.
What percentage of chimpanzees exploded?
Only 1%.
There you go. Everything's fine.
And that was from a ridiculously excessive amount of of exposure.
Oh, so it took like a shitload of it to make them explode?
Like,
Man, I miss my
like they mix it with water, and like the one that they had like 100% not diluted, and it drank it for like a week solid, and then it exploded. Also, tendencies to become extremely violent, to rash out at anything, including allies. Started to take on a more ox, cattle-like features.
Did they say anything about where they got the idea for the thing? Or it's just like, hey, we admitted a new element, we're going to make it into a soda?
They were working on it for military testing.
So they're like, let's make it a drink instead. Seems like the next logical choice, of course.
I don't think they intended to sell it as a soda. I think they were basically trying to make like a super serum that they give to soldiers, and the soda is a front.
Yeah, you see the biggest thing they were trying to do is they weren't trying to reduce the muscle mass or the rage. They were trying to make it so they could control not attacking allies. That seemed to be the main purpose of these tests. That and not exploding.
Do they have like any kind of
Unless there's
pictures
time to explode it.
of
That'd be nice.
like a logo or what they put on these cans to differentiate them? What I'm looking for is, are there any pictures that look exactly like the one that Hertz found?
They're glowing red.
Did they do that in the maze? I don't recall.
Yeah, I didn't really describe them in the maze, but when you opened the can, it was like red glowy liquid, I'll say.
Yeah. Still doesn't clear up whether or not who had it first.
Like this level of red, like super solid primary red.
Give me 1 second, guys.
Uh-oh.
Everything should be fine. Hang on.
Anyway, it's the Hertz show now.
So, yeah, do you look through any of the other files, or?
Yeah, I'll look through. Oh god. I'll look through. Sorry.
Oh,
My
okay.
phone is being crazy. I looked through the Sunburst ones. I am very interested in that. Whatever's happening.
Wait, which one?
The Sunburst one.
Okay, the Project Sunburst. You see that they had a satellite, and Kat, I have you muted right now, so I can't hear what you're saying. But I'm so that way they can not worry about talking over us or something. They appeared to be working on this that laser battery that you found stuff on before. The Project Sunburst was for that laser battery, and they put it into this satellite that they launched into space.
Does it say what it is, or is it just like a
weapon? They
Alright.
weaponized it. So you need the targeter, and it when the targeter is pointed and detonated in the correct position, the satellite will actually shoot a beam from space down. It doesn't work inside. It doesn't work at night.
I get it. Nice. Okay. Alright. Like, is there anything else, like, interesting about it, or is it just that?
They appeared to, when you're reading the reports, the guy seems kind of like a goofball. He likes to be a little unconventional with his stuff.
Right.
And apparently he really liked sci-fi movies back in the day. So there's a few references to some, like, pulp fiction, like black and white, cheesy sci-fi movies in here.
Perfect.
Like he'll like name one like Attack of the Popcorn Meteorites or something like that. I don't know. Some like
That's
mystery
amazing.
like movies that they would watch in mystery theater.
Yeah.
He had like names for subjects and stuff. He'll name them, stuff like that.
Okay.
What are
okay,
you
so
looking at, Hertz?
I was looking at Sunburst. It's a weapon that they sent to space, and then if you press a button to a specific place, it shoots a laser from space, but it can't do it inside or at night. Okay. That's what I got from that. I was gonna look at the dino files next.
You see that they were working on trying to bring back a few from the Viking era. Laser Raptor was definitely one of them. You see in there?
Wait, dinosaurs from the Viking era, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Retroverse, baby.
Cool. Good to know.
You know your history lessons. Barbara was like the main leader of the Vikings back in the day that finally eliminated all the laser dinosaurs back in that era, thus ending the Viking era about 10,000 years ago or something. I don't know.
Cool.
Throw a number out there.
There are rumors of one island with all dragons and dragon riders, but nobody knows about that.
Do you mean dinosaurs? Because those are two different things.
That's fair, but
You see that they were thinking of maybe they were gonna also maybe try to use these as like trained creatures of. There was a lot of military stuff in here. Like they were definitely in the military business, and they weren't just to Radami stuff. It was like other kingdoms in the distance. Like they were willing to sell off their technology and stuff. So they were independent. They weren't the government. They were planning on all this stuff being sold for military.
Did it say like what places they were selling to?
The closest one you recognize is the Northern Kingdom of Ottoman.
Okay. It doesn't ring a bell, right? It's just like.
But we're not seeing.
It's where all the robot people are and stuff. They live up north.
Okay.
We're not seeing anything in these files though that makes any kind of connection to us between us and the real world and this place or this like all of these projects and shit to the maze, correct?
No. The only real connection you're getting is that
We've recognized them.
The red Ratatar.
I think we gotta keep looking. I don't.
Another dinosaur was the ankle tar, and they had a Karma Chameleon, whatever that is. They had a Magnet Lodon and a Dino Saw.
I genuinely cannot tell whether you're making half the shit up or if you're just looking at US's Twitter.
Definitely looking at his Twitter. In case it wasn't super obvious that I'm looking down every time I say a name.
Well, like some of the stuff you had written down, it was all you.
Oh,
like.
And a Piranodon. I love the Piranodon.
Okay, so for the sake of not sitting here and like reading all this, we can assume that they're all just like big weapon, secret top scientist stuff. Like, is there anything that's not that in these files?
In these files, no. But you do, or no, you find like the actual ingredients and specific recipes for making all sort of flavors that they were making here as well.
I pocketed that.
Okay. So I'm gonna say we lay all these documents that we found out. Does your phone have a camera, or does Sir Barksla have a camera somewhere on him?
The phone does have a camera. We canonically said that it does.
Okay, cool. I want to take pictures of all of these things.
You can just take them.
Well, yeah, but that's great until we stumble into something else that explodes and it burns the papers to a crisp. We take a picture and you email it to your or something. Huh?
Paper burns?
Yeah. Everything burns.
That's fair.
Okay. I was gonna say, I really wish I just hit the screenshot buttons, because Scott, you froze on our end.
Yeah, like this.
No. Something like that.
Okay. So,
you know. So if there is like nothing else that's like maze related, cult related, I say that we look at it, but like if that we have that information, so we just don't sit here and like.
Yeah.
Project Wyvern was off of Project Dinosaur, where they recreated the Wyvern and they've added mechanical augmentations to it.
We're definitely not going to run into all of these creatures that they made further into this this place.
All I'm saying is I want a dinosaur, you guys.
Okay, the last dinosaur we met tried to murder us, so I'm not too keen on them right now.
They're so cute.
I mean, I will admit the fact that he had laser eyes coming out of his head that was sort of like mine was a little endearing, but he also tried to bite Ghost's head off.
I mean, one
was also suicidal.
Yeah, I was about to say that one did fall for him, quite literally.
They're not that bright. Wait. I can't believe this just occurred to me. Those things were supposed to be extinct, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is why they're not. But why the hell? Why would they escape this place now? What happened? Was it the dragon leaving?
I mean, probably whoever is using this place now, which I'm saying we should go look for them, because they're obviously causing some sort of trouble. And
Life finds a way. One of them, because the frog DNA, discovered the ability to open a door. And they walked out.
Oh my god!
I didn't remember reading the frog DNA part in those files.
Yeah, when did that happen?
It's common.
This was a great campaign. Josh just won the game.
You figured it out.
I joke. Okay, so
yeah, so I'm gonna say let's fold all this stuff up, and Hertz, you are the least likely to get exploded on by a skeleton, so I'm gonna say we should put him in your backpack. What? Yost and I are melee people. If the skeleton explodes, it's probably gonna explode on me.
But with my track record, like...
Well, you don't just... Yeah. Like, ideally, you stay out of line of fire.
I'm often ranged too, but
That's
those
true.
damn things absorb radiant.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I will note, I used a short rest to, no, I think it only takes a bonus action, but I changed the damage that the Keyblade does to, necrotic. Since I know that the skeleton dudes are, resistant or immune to radiant.
I'm shoving everybody out of this room because I'm tired of it and we're leaving.
Yeah, let's go.
you guys go back out to the sticky hallway. Filled with dead bodies.
Yeah, I think we have to go through the hallway of death. I think there was another door in here.
Alright, there we go.
There was another door, and that's where that one cultist foot was poking out, and that was the closet. And then there was the stairs that go down.
Whatever other exit through here
Okay, so you guys
that
go.
we didn't go through.
So you guys go down the stairs.
Yeah.
Where the skeletons came from.
I am looking over the railing every couple of staircases, though, just to make sure there isn't something coming up them as well.
And I'll mark with like my big Sharpie on the walls with like a big H, so Brum can find us later.
Oh, that's smart, yeah.
Okay. The
Maybe put the time as well.
Sure, yeah.
You guys head down and you get to the next level down, level 4, and it's one of those big steel doors that has like the push pressure bar thing in the middle. So you guys
I kick it. Bam!
okay.
She's a rock star. She doesn't give a shit about stealth.
You kick the door open and you're greeted with you see all these glass cylinder containers, and they seem to have different versions of the dinosaurs in various forms of development. Some of them in embryo stages. Some of them look like they're almost fully mature. Quite a few of these jars are actually broken, and there's just looks like there was fluids there. But the thing that really stands out immediately after that is you see a robed figure wearing a purplish red glossy hue with his robes, and goes to turn at you, and you see he has a very draconic looking mask with a middle horn coming out the front, and it has 4 eye slits on it, and you see a bunch of cultists around him.
Okay,
Roll
so
initiative.
we open the door. We open the door. Hang on, let me get this right. We open the door, and there's a shitload of like broken jars with dinosaurs in them, and a crowd of cultists looking at us.
Yeah, they look like they were working. They look like they were working, and the leader was like in the middle supervising everything. But they like all just like stopped and looked over at you guys.
Hello, everybody! I'm here to make your life so much better.
Give me those initiatives. Ooh, they rolled good.
It's a big ol' 11.
17.
Oh,
Give me your can, because every time your dice hits it, it sounds like somebody's ringing a fucking doorbell.
okay.
Sounds like that.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that was just me.
I'm just imagining he's just like, she kicks on the door and there's this loud reverberating thing, and then Yost just steps up and hits the ring bell.
Why is there even a doorbell here?
You know, the robed figure, you noticed he had a long staff that had a very draconic head on the top. And when he turned and saw you guys, he seemed to turn the handle, and the thing went like, and glowed.
Cool. Hi, how's it going?
What was Yost's? With the bell ring? Okay.
Yost, are we leading with our weapons in here, or?
Well, Herd's kicked down the door, so she gets to go first.
Oh yeah, talking is free action.
Well, she also got lead initiative. So.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm like, hey, look, there is a frog in that tube.
So I burst down the door. I'm
Oh
like,
my god. Okay.
hello, and I'll walk up to them. It's like, what's going on in here? And I'll cast suggestion on the main leader dude.
Okay, what's your spell save?
I think it's 13. It might be more.
What's your charisma modifier?
Charisma is +3.
So it should be a 14 then.
14. Okay, sorry. I didn't fix that after we leveled. But yeah, 14.
Okay. So you walk in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Guns a-blazing, as they say.
Do anything else in your turn?
What are you suggesting he do?
Yeah, actually. What you gotta actually verbally say what you're suggesting, just like on command, where you gotta verbally say, like suggestion would be like, drop your weapons and walk out the door. Would be a great example of suggestion.
Yeah. Okay. I'll tell him to I am your superior. Tell me what's happening here.
Okay. On their turn, he looks at you and says, "You are no superior of mine, elf." And he points his staff at you.
This is gonna be fine.
Yeah, this is fine. Everything's fine.
It's fine.
And after he points his staff at you, he says, "Kill her!" And he goes to swing at you with his glowy quarterstaff. And as he swings at you with the glowy quarterstaff, you see a wild, radiant flame appear on it.
Cool. Nice. Alright.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I got it right. I'm using Retroverse spells. Okay, so he's gonna swing at you because he's really smart. Which
16.
16, so 14 misses.
Yep.
Okay.
I just
His 10 cultists.
Well, Hertz is dead.
I'll say 5 of them shoot at you, and 5 of them come at you with daggers.
Okay.
Well,
Not 20 on the first one.
Glorious moment.
I mean, she's not the only one in the room.
Yeah.
But
She's the one that walked in. And they got a nat 20 on the first roll. So...
it was nice knowing you, Hertz.
Yeah. See, but this is what Hertz would do. She was like, I think that she's just was really bored sitting in that room reading for like an hour. So she's just like itching to do something, and we got here, and she's like, "Fuck it."
Talking, that's my jam. Oh God, there are bullets everywhere.
2 nat...
Crit it twice.
2 nat 20s.
You got 2 fucking natural 20s against a girl with a -1 con.
Okay, I'm gonna do not the crits first. How much HP do you have?
34.
Holy Christ!
That's right, guys.
Wait.
Okay, I'm pretty sure you're down. We'll just see about this.
That's fine. Listen, I think that this, like, it's fine. It makes sense. I feel like this is... Hertz hasn't passed out in a while. It's back to form.
So you take 12 damage from the not crits.
Okay.
Okay.
The crits were pistols.
Uh-huh.
So... I'll do the 1 normal pistol shot. And of course it rolls max.
Of course.
So you're definitely down before I even do the extra damage on crits, because I'm using the Retroverse crits. You guys just see them just slap. First, they all fire at her, and you think she's about to fall over dead, and the 5 of them come at her with daggers. This guy, your turn.
Cool! I'm gonna walk up and cast Cure Wounds on Hertz. And, like, stand over her fallen body protectively.
There are 10 enemies near you. Do you want to provoke 10 opportunity attacks?
I fucking have to, or she's gonna die. Actually, wait. Hang on, I need to get the PDF up.
Really weird at
you already?
They all fucking
Well,
swarmed her. 5 of them
you have
shot
to-
her, and then 5 more jumped on her to stab her. So it would take
I'll-
5.
I'll say there are 5 within that melee range, but you will still have to get through at least one of the ones that shoot pistol.
Remember, you only
Where does
opportunity
the
attacks by leaving the threat area, not going into.
Yeah, but shoot it move through it to get to Hertz.
I don't have it prepared.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, you were using it. I have healing word. That's not gonna help. Because I'm an idiot.
I like to think every time you cast
No,
a
you
spell,
can-
you just say the bird. Is it the healing word? I don't know. Tried too hard on that one.
I am looking to see. Yeah, I'm going to use my Stalwart Shield ability. I want to use my action to spread my arms wide and summon a shield with a 10-foot diameter around myself. So hopefully catching Hertz and Yost in that, or at least just Hertz. And my movement speed is 0, and I have to concentrate on it as if a spell, but if 2 non-hostile creatures of medium size or smaller are within 5 feet when this feature is used, they are inside the sphere with me.
I'll say she didn't get very far, so you were able to have both her and him in there.
Cool. Okay. If a hostile creature is within 5 feet, they must make a Constitution saving throw versus my DC, or be pushed out.
Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, they're trapped inside with us. Cool. Yeah. Awesome. Super duper. That's great.
What's the spell save? For you?
What the hell is my DC? It's a 13.
And that one.
Good. Yay.
Okay. All of them but one get pushed out.
Cool. That's my action.
So, Hertz is still down? You didn't get the healer?
I did not, no.
Okay.
I'll get her next round, because the thing is, it's like, great, awesome, I healed her. If they're assholes the next round, they're gonna hit her while she's down and hurt her anyway. Yeah.
But Oh, never mind. Sorry.
Yeah, so that's what I do, and I yell, Yost, take care of that one. And I basically just got my hands out, holding up this, like, semi-translucent sphere.
I like to think you're going Violet from Incredibles, you know, just bubble shield.
Yeah.
So, it is Yost's turn.
So I'll try to kill the one that's within the sphere.
Okay.
Be hitting him with my power axe. 25 hit,
Yep.
and then that 20.
What did you get? Okay, he's dead. He's just dead. Because you do max damage automatically, and then someone crit, and your max damage would kill him.
So he's creamed.
At least somebody's on their game.
Alright, Hertz. That's saving throw.
Yay! Yay!
Now, in case you're not familiar with death saving throws, you roll straight d20. And if you get 11 or higher, it's a success. If you get 10 or lower, it's a failure.
14!
So 1 success. You need 3. Or a nat 20. If you get a nat 20, you are right back up at 1
It counts
HP.
as 2, isn't it?
The house rule I've been seeing is you get back up and you're at 1 HP, and I like that one
Oh,
better.
okay.
So we'll go with that, especially after getting stabbed 5 times and shot 5 times. So.
Dude, this is a trash idiot.
That was straight up like you're playing like a real-time strategy game, and you send it in 1 unit against an army, almost.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean,
Keep playing.
if you didn't make a save, that could have worked. Like, I'm all for ballsy moves. Just that was the cost for failure.
It failed. It didn't
Yeah,
go
it's
well.
fine. I'm not even mad. Like, I feel like it makes sense. Like, of course. Like, yeah.
Hey, I'm your boss.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's their turn. How's your? Can they attack your shield?
They can, yes. They would have to break through. They would have to take it down to 0 hit points, and it has the same amount of hit points that I do. So good fucking luck, dudes.
What's the AC?
AC of 10.
Okay.
But it has 76 hit points.
Okay. The little ones come up with it with their daggers, and they're starting to attack it.
I just laugh at them.
Why are the little guys getting that 20s? I swear to God. Okay. Your shield starts to crack, but it's just starts to crack.
Okay, because I'm like, I'll write down the shield's hit points if you want.
Okay, it's...
Taking how much?
I'm calculating the averages in my head, so I'm not rolling damage for all these.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, no, I have them written right here, duh. It takes 20. So that's from the little guys. The big guy, let's see what he'll do. He says, "You delay the inevitable." And he, his mask actually opens up on the mouth part, or like the dragon mouth is, and he opens his jaw, and you see a glow from his mouth, and he shoots a beam out of his mouth.
Cool.
Out of his mouth. And since your shield can't really do a dex save,
I think it auto-failed dex saves.
it takes...
It automatically fails any saving throws.
Okay, it takes 14 radiant.
Cool.
And that's their turn. Your turn.
My turn. Cool. I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on Hurts, because technically I maintain it as if it's concentration, so I can use my action as long as it's an instantaneous spell.
Since you're all in here, this room is fairly big. The ceiling's about 20 feet up, and there's enough gap in between the jars for like a 5x5 tile on a battle grid. There.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can make yourself not completely surrounded if you weren't in the middle of the hallway.
Hurts, you gain... Oh, God. Hang on, math. 7 hit points. But hey, you're up.
And cautious.
Yeah.
That's the important part.
Yeah, you are inside a shield with me. As soon as you wake up, I say you can't do anything until I drop the shield.
Wait.
Let's come up with a plan before you...
Oh, no.
Meaning, you can't cast magic in or out. Nothing can get in, nothing can get out until I drop it.
I just...
Which, like, it occurs to me, you wake up on the floor, and this is the first time you've ever seen me do this, I think.
Well, you guys are leveling up fairly fast, so you just get abilities out of nowhere, so whatever.
I just gotta go, that's new.
The
Alright.
feeling looks weird. What's happening?
Guys, I'm like tripping balls right now, my god.
You see you still have multiple stab wounds in your chest, and you're still bleeding.
Yeah, I mean, I only healed, like, what, 7 out of 34 hit points or something?
Mm-hmm. She healed your punctured lungs so you can talk.
God, save me.
So the shield has been up for 1 full round now.
Okay.
So are we
Because
just
I can only keep it up for...
until it drops, or?
No, I'm saying come up with a plan and then I'll drop it.
Well,
As soon as I drop it, I'm laying into that priest.
Big sister?
We're pretty fucking tight in. I think it's only like 10 feet. There was probably barely enough room for her to lay down.
10-foot diameter or 10 foot?
Over her. It's a little... Okay, hang on. So it says that it's a 10-foot diameter around myself. But it also says that up to 2 other creatures can fit in here with me.
Yeah, you guys are really tight together then.
guys,
But I'm like...
been this close since, like, we went camping that one
This
time.
is Visca's tiny hut.
Nice!
What I was thinking of doing, I can't do, so...
What were you thinking of doing?
Do you ready an action, maybe?
I can...
That's what I'm effectively trying to say. You ready what you're going to do, and as soon as I drop it, we all go at once, and I'm going to lay into that priestly goo.
So
I can just blast them with my keytar.
You guys look down and see the keytar that she got after you get at the very end of the maze. You've never actually seen her use its special ability yet.
Yup.
But I'm gonna suggest that as soon as we get out of here, we do our thing, and then we backpedal through that door so we can bottleneck them.
Ghost, do you want to like ready anything on your turn?
how many of them are there again?
10.
There are currently 9 cultists and their leader, so 10 total.
So Sir Barkslot attacks one of the
Oh
cultists.
shit! I forgot Barkslot wasn't in here with us.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't do what I wanted to do.
Oh, I'm
Because
sorry.
they all went to daggers at this point, so alright. I was gonna say one of the shooty ones, the pew pew ones, or the stabby ones, but they're all stabby right now.
First attack miss, 16 hit one.
Yep.
Hey, yo, get him! But it's kind of like warbled through the shield, so it's like, murder!
I like to think it's
damage, and it needs a strength save.
Okay. You got a 16 on the roll.
Yeah, that passes.
But he is like almost dead. This guy, I like to imagine like this is like a movie super dramatic where you're like, do it no, and you're like,
no, it's super cool.
I'm trying to think. What song?
do you want to heal yourself more before she puts it down?
No, I'm just thinking. I'm just like.
Oh yeah, right. That key feature to your guitar. Do you do anything on the rest of your turn, Yost, or is that everything?
I'm like, I've got this for another about 20 seconds. If
Okay,
there's
got
anything you want to prepare before I drop it.
Nope, I'm good to go.
I don't have any healing potions or anything, unfortunately.
It's fine.
Cool.
Okay.
You guys ready to dance?
Yeah, hopefully. Let me see how the fuck I drop this thing. I think I might just end it.
Wait a minute. Oh my god, okay. They're making up for those nat 20s. Excuse me while I roll a few D100s. I'm not joking, there's 3 nat 1s here.
Nice. Bummer we're not using that table, they'd stab themselves.
We are using that table, a few of them stabbed themselves. That one that was almost dead tried to swipe at Sir Varks and it like deflected off of his chrome face and he stabbed himself and died.
Oh, let's just wait here. Why are we not do anything?
Yeah, not really, I mean.
You quickly realized that it was just the power of numbers that overwhelmed Hertz.
It was 10 fucking attacks.
Yeah,
that would have overwhelmed all of us.
I'm a squishy baby.
Oh.
What are you gonna do about it?
Oh yeah, one more attack. Your shield takes another 13 radiant damage as it shoots another beam out of its mouth.
Cool.
Hey,
It's
you
still up.
should be getting one of those a day, cheater!
Blessings of Reticule.
Oh,
Radical.
that sucks.
Arcana check if you
My
want.
second level spell.
Arcana check from me.
That's why I said if you want, for fun.
1.
1?
I rolled a 1, so 2.
How's he doing it?
Magic.
Must be some necromancy. You must be a lich or something. A techno lich, I think, was one of the ones he came up with. Yeah. Must be a techno lich.
Some sort of nano cloud of small robots.
Oh my god, a nano lich. It's just a swarm of nanobots. Sorry. Anyway, I was sidetracked. So, it's,
I just have the best idea for a character. I'm sorry, because you said Nano Lich, and then I thought about Generator Rex, and then I was like, a Hollow Knight Generator Rex character would be amazing.
he pretty much is a Hollow Knight in a way.
Yeah! Oh man, I'm sorry, I love Generator Rex.
It is, okay, so, do you put the shield down? Or, like, you guys ready stuff and...
I looked yours. I got that one more mushroom left. Should I use it or hold on to it?
Go for it. Seems like a boss fight.
I'm gonna use my action then to eat the mushroom. The one that makes me big. Do I need a save or does it just happen?
How many of those do you have still?
This is the last one. The other one I have is a blue one, which apparently turns you blue and poisons you, and 2 purple ones that shrink you.
You are going to still have to do a con save.
Okay. Yep, it's gone. I rolled an 18.
Oh.
You feel like you're building up an immunity to it.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter, because now they're fucking gone. And
you swear you see one little tear on its stalk.
there's nothing else that I have that I can do. So I'm just gonna wait until their turns are over, so that I get to do my full thing next round.
So you took down your shield?
No, because it's not a concentration to eat the mushroom.
So
what
you,
is the way?
so you were going to go large size while you guys were crammed in this little thing?
Well, I was going to go large size and break it and smash next round. But now I'm like, shit, it didn't work. Next round I'm going to do another spell to buff and then... Or attempt it. We'll see.
Okay.
Do it!
Because I can hold it for 4 rounds. We're on round 2. I don't think it will survive round 3.
What action is it to dismiss it?
I don't see one. I think it just ends when...
Just stop concentrating.
Yeah. I just stop concentrating. Either it shatters because it's taken too much damage, or I just stop concentration and it goes away.
Okay, Yost and Aya, you'll both get another round to do stuff if you want in this bubble shield.
Alright, I guess I'll, while we're in here, I'll do Bards of Adrenaline.
What does that do for the audience at home?
Okay, so, basically, I give temporary hit points to, my buddies here. It says in 60 feet, but I don't think that includes Sir Barksala because of the shield. So I
Technically, no, spells can't go outside it.
Okay, so it's just the 2 of you, and you can use one of your hit dice plus a 1d6.
I'm gonna do that, yeah. We can just do that?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hold on. Okay, so they will go for. Sorry, there's a lot of math in this. 10 rounds, something like that.
Wait, what?
Or hold on. Temporary hit points last a number of rounds equal to your level divided by 2, so 3 plus your charisma 6. I'm sorry, 6 rounds.
Too
So
much.
for 6 rounds, we have extra hit points.
Yes.
The amount of math is too damn high.
And
It's
then-
just a lot of words, okay?
It's
Yeah, and yeah, so you guys get one of your temporary hit points plus a d6.
one of our hit dice plus a d6. 12 for me. 18? What the fuck did you roll?
10.
Yeah, I'm like,
Ghost, do you have your sword attack again? 'Cause you got another round, so he can attack again. So you attack one of the ones that accidentally stab themselves, or one of the ones that blow?
He will attack the one.
There's like
injured.
oh no, that one's dead. He killed himself.
Oh, he's killed? Oh.
yeah.
He was at 1
Yeah.
HP and he got
Had
1.
2 injuries.
Okay.
So a hit, because over 21,
Okay.
and oops, look at this stuff. 15?
Oh yeah, it's dead.
No, 15 to hit the second one.
Oh, yeah. He gets 2 attacks?
He uses my attacks. I can't attack, so he gets 2.
Oh, awesome. He
That's
hits
really
with both.
good.
I thought you were saying 15 damage. I'm like, holy crap, that bite.
10 damage on the first bite.
Dead?
Looking at the second guy. 10 damage.
Dead.
Cool.
Never gonna be able to use my
I was about to say, everyone kills things too fast. Chris doesn't get to having fun.
So there are 3 cultists dead now? So we're down to 7 creatures,
There's
right?
6. One killed itself.
That's right. 6
There's
creatures
6
now.
cultists and the leader.
Cool.
This is the most auto fight ever.
It's like, this is fine. You got it, Sir Barks a lot.
Yeah,
So-
let's just chill out. Let's hang. Like,
Yeah.
See, I wasn't trying to kill you guys.
I mean, I've only got like 2 rounds left, but it's fine.
let's just chill out for a little bit.
Those shades didn't protect you very well.
Yeah, I know. What is this?
Okay, so your shields, when it was their turn to attack, like all of them hit it, so it's definitely down. It was 32 damage total. I don't know if it carries over on you.
32 damage. Hang on, let me do the math and see if it's actually down.
I'm pretty sure it is. It's like over 60 for sure total damage out of everything, right?
I take 3 damage
Okay. Oh,
because it's only 3 of that went over.
okay. I'll say that's from the beam from the leader's face.
So, I don't have a napkin. Can I steal your napkin, Kevin, to erase my, and it comes down, and there are still cultists in front of us, or do I have a direct line towards, Boss Dude?
There's still cultists in front of you.
Cool. I'm gonna make it easier to not have them be there. Yeah, I'm gonna blow it. I'm gonna cast Bless.
The back one. I'm kidding.
Yeah, like I drop the shield, and as it's coming down, I like use my hand to draw the symbol of Alpha Z in the air. And
Lightning bolt.
yes.
A Z and a lightning bolt.
I
Maybe.
was thinking like a circle with a lightning bolt.
There you go.
Yeah. And me, Yost, and Hertz, all of us are blessed. So you get to add a D4 to any save you roll or attack or whatever. And I'm gonna go ahead and use a bonus action to pull out all 4 arms.
Okay.
And that's what I do. I'm like used everything.
Yeah, I was about to say you micromanage
So-
that turn for sure.
Yeah, man.
It is Yost's turn now. Shield's gone. You got 6 little guys and 1 big guy behind him.
You're blessed. You can add a D4 to anything. Unfortunately, Wolfie can't.
I didn't see that. I'm sorry.
So, there's a bunch of little guys around us.
Yep.
And then the big guys behind them.
Yep.
Guess I'll try to weed out some little guys. Somebody took my rolling pad.
Oh, rolling pad.
Paper towels.
Oh, shit. Here, I'm sorry. Take it back.
Only the fanciest of rolling pads. You're on Retroverse.
Both the attacks were over 20.
Okay, both crit miss. No, I'm kidding. They would definitely both hit.
Hitting 2 different of the mini guys.
Okay.
2 different minions, would you say?
Yes. 10 damage.
Good.
And 14.
And dude, super dead. Okay.
So we're now down to 4, right?
Yeah. 4 little guys and the mage.
Cool.
Have any of you played For Honor? Probably not. You play like a hero character, and then you gotta fight against the other person. And minions literally die in 1 hit, so it's pretty much what you guys are essentially doing.
I mean, we're level 6 warriors, man. We put out a good amount of damage.
Yeah. That's why there's so many cultists. Alright, so I believe it is Hertz's turn. There's 4 little guys and a big guy, and they're all within a cone range. In case you know.
Whoa! How
Just in case you wanted
convenient!
to,
Hey,
You
so
will hit 2 of the jars with dinosaurs in them.
That's fine.
Okay.
Hertz is gonna, like, she's, like, probably standing behind the other 2 compatriots, and she's gonna walk over to them, and she's like, last chance, boys! You can dance if you want to. You can leave your friends behind.
Excuse me. I gotta leave. I have to be without a hat for this one.
And then I will blast them with my guitar.
Give me a performance check.
Performance?
Yeah.
Alright.
I'm not sure if you can even fail anymore. What's your bonus to perform?
Performance, I have a +6.
Okay.
I got a 15.
Okay. She pulls up the guitar and you hear like doo 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 doo, and it's like a boom as this giant blast comes out of it. Roll your damage.
Okay. Here we go. Hold on. Let me.
They're like, no, our hats! It's like their hats like go flying off.
It's really funny. It's like I did all this boosting up, and I'm like, I'm gonna lay into the big guy, and you like murder all of them in one go.
Okay. So each creature in a cone must make a DC 15 Constitution saving throw.
Okay, let's see. Oh my god! Oh, come on!
That's
Any
right.
crit? Oh my god.
2 19s and a 20 from the little guys.
Oh god. Okay.
Okay, what happened?
On a failed save, a creature takes 5d6.
They're probably still dead.
5d6 and successful takes half as much. So unless I roll full ones.
The important,
Sounds like there's so much dice.
the first one, which is the important one, the leader did make his check. Unfortunately.
Alright.
Maybe these guys have stabbed themselves, by the way.
You're so dumb.
And they're about to take 5d6.
Okay. So okay, so 12 points of damage, and those glass tube thingies all break because they're made out of glass.
Okay.
It was how much damage?
12.
All of the cultists except the leader go flying, ragdoll dead. The leader's the hood on his cloak falls back as he like tried to block it, and you see that he is a laser dragonborn.
Really?
Yeah.
Not everybody remembers that the big giant crest horn thing means that they're a laser
Ghost just
dragon.
takes
Yeah.
the visor off his helmet. What?
My god.
What? Okay. Or my favorite gif I keep finding on Twitter is that like one where he's like, or whatever, where he like shakes his face, does like the double take. Anyway, so. I assume that's her turn, and she just blew away the audience.
And unless I can, I'll also do a hype dice to Visca, and the way that I do it is I do this rad song, and I turn around to her and do her like a little wink, like let's go get them.
Like that's so cool. What are your hype dice?
Again, there's a lot of words.
Yeah.
It's a D6.
Oh, nope.
I'm sorry.
Okay, D8, yeah. Cool.
I'll need to find. I'm sure Sony's not going to allow it on YouTube, but I need to find the clip of the evil villain Despicable Me 3. The only reason you should even see that movie because his weapon is what she has. He plays smoke on the water and it does like a wolf blast. It's great.
Amazing.
It's great. But, he's the only part I really liked about it. But anyway, so it is now their turn, or should I say his turn?
I am standing in front of Hertz, by the way.
No, I move in front of you. But
God
I
damn it!
You're right. I move back, so you can go. Go ahead.
In frustration, he yells, and when he yells, he shoots a beam. And he shoots it at Hertz because she's in front. So Hertz needs to give me a dexterity saving throw.
Does she have like half time for me?
And he swings his glowing staff at you.
Oh, okay.
That's inappropriate.
Well, if you'll allow to have half time, I think that's a +2.
I didn't say his horn.
13.
A 13?
Uh-huh.
Hey, you made the check. So you only take half of this. And he rolled well. You take 3 radiant.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
As he just into your shoulder. Grazes your shoulder.
Ow! Right into the stab wound! Guys, I need a better shirt!
As he tries to swing at this guy, clearly misses, easily dodges it. It is your turn.
I imagine it just like hits the armor, and I've got like 4 arms now because I've pulled the other 2 out, and it's just like.
I'll just say he did like an overhand swing, and it's like super obvious and easy to read, so you kind of like sidestep it as he just slams it to the ground.
Cool.
It is your turn.
Cool. I'm gonna draw. Yeah, fuck it. No, I'm killing him. I'm drawing all 4 of my swords.
You going blender?
I'm going blender. So I've got my.
She's going full Grievous.
I've got the key sword, and my 3 short swords, and I drop my shield.
Okay.
Because I would like to make him murdered.
Q Rules of Nation. You guys probably don't know that one.
Oh, that's a bad. I'm gonna go ahead and use my. I'm not even gonna use the hype dice. I can't hit him. I rolled a 8 plus. Yeah, it's a max of like 12. Yeah, 12. So the key sword completely misses.
Did you use the high dice on that?
I did not, because it still probably wouldn't have hit.
Auto insight, maybe it'll help.
Yeah.
He's not really wearing much armor.
I rolled an 8, so dirty 20.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, come on, hit it! I believe in you!
There's the hype.
And it does...
Hurts believes in me. I cannot fail. Speed lines. Ah!
14 damage from the first hit. With the key sword.
Don't believe in yourself, believe in the hurt that believes in you.
You get a clear cut mark, just goes straight through his torso. And you see his robes fall apart, and you see that he had on leather armor on the inside. And he's bleeding everywhere, just spurts of blood. And he's just like... he's not down yet, but he is like finish him kind of level.
Second strike is a dirty 20.
Okay. How do you want to end it?
I'm cutting his head off. Yeah, just like both of them, because I've still got my 3 attacks. Just all 3 swords go in at once. It's like, no!
I'll say like the first one goes straight in the middle of the neck, and the other 2 like scissor and goes like that. So like the first one holds it in place and head.
Well, that went much better than I expected.
Yeah, I only died once!
Yeah.
That's an improvement.
I only used one of my rounds of my arm thingies. You know, those things that I have.
We
They're
do a round of penguins of Madagascar style high fives between each other.
Yeah.
Just like camera pans up past the clouds to like stereotypical god personification. He's like, they're growing up so fast, and then it goes back down.
I love it.
Like it's God from Family Guy, but he's got these shades on, the shutter shades. So yeah, you're out of initiative.
Did you want to look around and see if that guy had any cool, like, magical stuff? He had a staff, but I don't know if
Do
he
you have good loot?
No, but he has a staff. He didn't look like he liked music though. No loot. I like how the 2 that got it were just like, no. Just no. All he has on him are his robes that are now bloody and torn, leather armor, which is pretty much completely sundered, and a laser dragon mask. You notice the horn on the mask is actually part of the mask. It's not like it was a hole for his horn to actually fit through.
I want it.
What are you gonna do with it?
It's made of...
I'll put it on the wall, dude!
It's made of, like a hard crystal-like material.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely keeping it.
It has a pinkish purple hue to it, depending on where the light's reflecting on it. It's either pink or purple. Very glossy.
You should put it on.
I put it on.
I'm gonna go around to each of these cultists to make sure they're actually dead and check their pockets.
Doesn't take very long. They're super
they're
dead.
super dead.
Especially the ones that stabbed themselves. You see they like landed on their dagger.
Oh god.
They're so dumb.
You know, it's not like they're like CR1A cultists or anything. They
Hey, look, frogs.
That's where I was going next. I want to make sure everything in the room is dead, and then I'm checking on the test tube baby dinosaurs.
every single one of the cultists have one of those standard little baby laser pistols that do D6 radiant. And the leader had essentially it was a very fancy quarterstaff. Like if you turn the hilt, it turns on lights on the inside.
If it probably wouldn't get us like pinged by the police as arms dealers, I'd almost be tempted to like shove every one of these pistols into the fanny pack of holding and just sell them because like it's free money. But like that's a lot of guns to be hawking.
The person's just sitting like in the back, like staring at turning it on and off, like.
This is Retroverse America.
Oh yeah, we're fine.
Yeah, you're fine.
Just go to a pawn shop, you'll be fine.
It's funny because it's true.
Hey everybody, welcome to Pawn Shop.
That's worth like 1,000 credits. I'll give you 25.
Yeah.
Best offer.
Actually, I'm curious. How much would a pistol cost? These like generic.
Give me an intelligence check. That would be an appraise in 5th, and they don't have it, so it's intelligence.
Oh, that's 17.
17. Cool, I have to look up. Give me a second.
Be like, roll to see if you make the DM look up the thing.
Exactly! You've seen through my
Best
ruse.
thing.
You've seen through my ruse. It's like 50 gold.
I mean, that is 50 gold.
Pretty good.
Couple of
But you're pretty sure you'd only be able to sell them for 25. They're worth 50.
still free money. I'm gonna pick up the 9 pistols and then I'm gonna go get a napkin because I just threw my food on the floor.
Okay.
No, don't eat it. No. Stop.
But it's tasty. Oh, okay. So,
I'll keep the staff.
okay, you notice that the one end of the staff has a very draconic head look on it. It's got 6 eyes, like 3 on each side.
Ooh, I'm like, do you think that Vex would like this? I think he would like this. It's cool, isn't it?
It fits his motif.
Yeah, it has a little dragon on the top and it lights up. That's pretty dope.
You can roll intelligence check to see how much it's worth if you want.
Okay. Now that I don't think I'll sell it either way. I feel like Hertz would like collect things.
Either.
I got a dirty 20.
Okay, you're pretty sure this will be worth about 5 gold. It's essentially a fancy stick.
But it's so cool.
Like a normal bow staff that you've seen they use in kung fu movies that you've watched is about 2 silver each. So this is an expensive stick, but it's in a stick.
Remember, it's a thought that counts.
That's true. Alright, I'll keep it. I'll give it to him later.
Did
Okay.
you say you got it from like Nordstrom or something?
Yeah.
You're more expensive there.
Definitely, he'll be like, you went to Nordstrom and like came back here. He'll definitely not question that, I'm sure.
I know. We found a portal to one.
Yeah.
Right.
Step to the mall and then came back. Yeah. That's why we took so long. It's not because we sat around reading notes for an hour.
You know, considering what has happened to us in the past, that's not that far-fetched.
That's true. You remember that one time last summer when we ended up on like 3 different beaches in the same day. That was crazy.
You guys went to the Bermuda Triangle and it's 3 beaches just intersecting.
Yeah. It's like
No, the Barracuda. It's the Barracuda Triangle. There we go.
Yeah. Oh.
So am I writing down 9 pistols?
10.
10 pistols.
They also had daggers.
I don't care about the daggers. They're not worth it.
Okay. No one's throwing daggers. Got it.
We know the evils of daggers.
I mean, in Retroverse, that's kind of bland compared to what you can do with other stuff.
Exactly.
And as much as I don't want to, I think it might be a good place to stop for a second so that I can get a buddy break into the adults.
Okay. Well, that's a good spot. So we'll go there and Sir Barks a lot. Alright. So.
Yeah.
Alright, so you guys you killed everything and blew away your crowd. You got a bunch of dinosaurs in jars. One of the dinosaurs that you, like the jars you broke, they collapsed. One wasn't developed enough, but the other one was. And
It's still breathing.
give me a medicine check.
Oh shit, I have proficiency in that. Wow. Watch, I'm gonna roll 2. Oh no, I rolled really well. I got a 19.
Yes!
Sweet. It is breathing and stable.
Look at it, I'm favorite.
Let me just pull it up real quick. So, while we were on break, I got the pictures up of these dinos. So,
And apparently Sir Bark's squad is very jealous.
yes.
Dinosaur.
Guys, that was so cool. Why are you looking at the dinosaur?
Actually, wait. Let's go with You see that it looks essentially like the Triceratopses, except its horn it seems to be broken and fractured, and pieces of it are just hovering and keeping themselves in place to make the horn, but they're just like hovering there, stable.
Oh, cool.
I'll say Hertz already knows what this is, since she's proficient with history. You recognize it as a magnetolodon.
Okay, you actually broke my head.
I'm so excited.
Does anyone have anything metal in them?
My fucking everything.
Yeah.
You feel a slight tug.
I'm in full plate.
It's only the slightest of tug, but you can
okay.
feel it.
I'm just
Goodbye to
gonna
those.
go and be like, I'll let it like sniff my hand.
No,
We just adopt another pet.
Is it unconscious or?
it's currently unconscious but stable.
Okay. I'll
It's also slimy because of the fluids and stuff.
okay.
Yeah.
It smells like pickles.
I'll clean it with prestidigitation.
Okay.
And I'll
That way it bonds with you, but better.
Ew. Gross. I'll pick it up and I'll be like, this is mine now. It's my son and I love him.
I've only known him for 24 hours, but if anything happens to him, I'm gonna kill every one of them myself. Is that what you're going with?
Yeah.
Okay, it is currently small size. But you remember reading that
Damn, it's big.
you reading that they get quite big. This is a baby one. I have a picture totally taking up the overlay of a picture of the Magnetlodon.
I know, he looks adorable. Oh my god.
I'm gonna shrink it down and wait, wrong picture. I'm gonna shrink it down.
Oh my gosh, now I have an image of her
Cool,
riding
that's
on
the
a
new
motorcycle with a giant, with her, with her little dinosaur just running next to it.
You need to get like a front basket for him so he just rides in the front.
I think I'm gonna
Oh no, that's gonna work for like a week.
He's
and
about
then
the
throw that shit.
He's about the size of one of the kobold bikers right now.
Yeah, he's already the size of a halfling. He's small size. He's
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! I love him. I love him.
After a brief moment of you like clean him off and you go to lift him up, you hear like a and it like coughs up a bunch of the fluid stuff, and you see its chest moving up and down and it's breathing.
Oh, okay. I pet it reassuringly. I don't know how dinosaurs work. But
Animal handling.
Huh?
Animal handling. Here's where the fun begins.
Okay.
Sure, rolls a 1 and bites off her hand out of instinct.
Please don't skin. Please. I got an 8.
Okay. Just awkwardly like pets it.
This is like.
I imagine you like go to pet its face and you're like, oh wait, okay, where do I pet?
And as she's
Top pet.
as she's like petting it on its side, it like moves like it's uncomfortable, like she's poking it or something.
Oh.
And it's like its eyes are a little too big for its head because it's a baby. So like if you just like this, like what eyelids go to open and they just barely open, and you just hear like this as it tries to get up.
Oh.
I put it down, but like carefully so he's okay.
I don't know if it's too early to feed an animal that just sort of maybe came out of the womb food.
I only have fruit roll-ups, guys.
I have a sandwich that I packed for lunch.
You notice that when it moves, the horn itself has like a slight lag, where like if it moves this way, like the horn itself is just like.
Cool.
That's cute.
Cool.
doesn't really have teeth. It's probably heard before.
Oh, does it not have teeth?
It's essentially a triceratops, if you guys want to base it on something real.
I mean, I've got lettuce on that sandwich.
Can I feed a fruit roll-ups?
You try to feed it.
Fruit roll-up is good for it.
You try to feed it a fruit roll-up, and it like it actually comes over and sniffs it, and it like goes down to the ground and starts like trying to look for food. And it's completely ignores your fruit roll-up. You're pretty sure it doesn't
You
want
get
it.
him some food, you guys!
I'm gonna like pull out my sandwich and like take the bit of cheese and eat that and then lay out the rest for him. Like, I don't know what you like here. Enjoy a smorgasbord?
What? He's not worth the cheese?
Well, like a lot of animals can't eat cheese because it's like lactose intolerance.
Still, just saying.
Okay, it's my sandwich. I
Give
had
me
to
a-
have a little piece of something, okay?
Give me a history check.
I'll give you my fruit roll-up.
I know this, okay? Dinosaurs don't like cheese. I rolled a 2.
Oh, animal. 19.
Damn.
Do dinosaurs
What
like
do,
cheese?
what do you do with the animal handling? Like, how are you handling the animal?
I was also trying to figure out what.
I'm just imagining it's doing what Terry is right now, which is literally he just sat up from eating his food to lick my foot. And just like bathed my entire foot and went back to the food.
I'll say with the animal handling, it seems like it can barely see. Like its eyes are just barely opening up, and it actually like hits one of the containers as it's like walking around. And with your animal handling, you actually are able to you don't scare it, and you're able to guide it over to the lettuce leaf from her sandwich, and it starts nibbling on it.
Yes, you're so good at that thing with dinosaurs. Good job.
You can give me a history check if you want.
Me?
Both you and Yas,
Okay.
because Visca already did hers.
16.
Okay. It was theorized that they like to eat iron,
Ooh. Okay.
but they
I'll give it
were
my
vegetarians and they also ate like hard minerals and iron.
I'll give him my stapler.
We have a shitload of crappy daggers.
Oh yeah, give him that.
Make sure he eats Silk first so he doesn't stab himself.
Yeah.
He can't see anything.
Yeah, I'll give him one of our shitty daggers.
Okay. He goes over and he actually starts nibbling on it.
Oh, yeah!
Instinctually, he seems to know when it's sharp, where it's sharp, and he notice that he uses the back palate molars that he has to dull out the sharp ends, and he's just like, and the handle's like sticking out of his little mouth.
Oh, guys, his name is Magneto.
So
it looks up at you.
My son. Magneto, that's his name.
I feel like this is how you felt like the first day that you met Terry. You're just like, ah, shit, she's already in love. Guess we're taking him home.
You notice he's a blend of like a sage green and a really dark gray. Like he starts at dark gray at the top, and his like underbelly and stuff is more of the green. It turns into.
So I'm gonna look around and see if I can see any like folding tables. My theory is that we like baby gate this guy in here, and then we'll come back for him.
No!
He's surrounded by a shitload of lab stuff. He could just eat a fucking table. He's not gonna get hungry.
Yeah, but what if they come back?
You ready?
They didn't hurt him before. If he comes with us, he's not gonna do well. We don't have any way of keeping a little guy like him safe.
Wait, I got an idea. Put him in your fanny pack.
You would die.
Just keep the head out.
That would be adorable. It's unclear how that works.
You hear a thump on the ground as you see the handle fall to the ground with no blade anymore, and he goes to another one.
He's so useful!
He's also essentially an infant.
Yeah.
We got an issue.
We can just leave him here.
Well, if we leave him here, good chance it's going to die on its own. We take him with us, there's a good chance it's going to die because we keep getting into shit.
What are the only things
I
that would kill him is if something comes up here after us to kill him, and it has nothing has a reason to.
Well, I mean, surviving on its own. It's an infant.
Oh.
It needs a parent to help it survive.
Well, yeah, but I'm sure he can last a couple of hours.
You've never been with an infant, have you?
No.
Give me passive perception. Or
All
your
my brothers
passive?
are older.
Never mind. You don't roll that. What's passive
14.
perception? Okay.
Okay, 9.
14.
Okay. You start to notice little bits like coin-sized shrapnel pieces of metal are scooching towards the infant, and then you notice some of them have already started to hover just like a few millimeters off from the skin.
Cool. Guys, let's make him a tank. We can just...
They're like the tiniest bits of like metal flakes and stuff.
I try to
That's
find
going to work out in the long run, though.
table or something. Somebody give me a sword or something. I'm gonna go cut up a metal table. I'll metal sheets around him, and we'll make him a tank.
He'd probably eat that.
You notice the metal flakes start to go towards his face, and his tongue just goes like.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Magneto, you're so cute!
Yeah, I say let's leave him here with a shitload of metal to dine on. He'll be fine for a little while. We'll come back. I mean, we're gonna have to rest eventually anyway. I'm almost out of spells. I don't know how you guys are doing, like, energy-wise.
I used one spell, so...
I
don't have any.
I have one left, but I have very few spells, so they're kind of useless.
I mean, we can take him with us, but I'm just saying, we run the risk of him getting hurt with an injury. If we keep him here, he runs the risk.
He wanders over to Yas, and he starts stomping on the metal great ground next to you to make like a little indent, and then he like does a few turns, and he lays down and goes to sleep, making sure that he's resting, touching you.
Well, now we have to take him.
Yes! We have to take him! You're his mother now.
His tail is maybe this long right now.
Oh.
I told you, you should have licked him clean. He would have bonded with you.
I mean, she didn't roll a 19
Yeah.
animal handling.
Yeah, apparently you're super good with dinosaurs.
You notice the metal flakes are still conjugating towards the Triceratops.
I'm just
The
imagining
Megalodon, my bad.
I'm just imagining like that picture that I've seen on Twitter where it's just like the old dog just glaring through the sliding glass door.
So if we're gonna take him with us, you guys are gonna be responsible. You gotta take him out, make sure he's watered, feed him. I don't want to end up doing that.
You know me, I'm very responsible.
You know, that does mean, though, that when we get into a fight, you gotta make sure that you're in the back. You gotta put him somewhere safe, and then you can, be a dumbass and wander into the room full of 10 bad guys.
Yeah! Okay, but like, when she says, I'm very responsible, you flash back to last week where she forgot her her keys to her house. She had to sit outside for 3 hours. I'll take care of it, I promise, and I'll feed it, and there is he can just live in the basketball court in the manor, and I'll make sure that he is good and he'll fight, and we'll get him some like tank, like maybe some plastic armor so he doesn't eat it, like plexiglass maybe. Ooh, that'd be cool. And then we can make him light up. Oh yes.
Are you guys gonna take a rest here?
That's actually what I was just wondering. That ability that you used, hurts that let us spend a hit dice. Did that actually spend a hit dice?
Yeah. It uses
Okay, cool.
and
Yeah.
probably those hit points are probably gone by now.
Oh, yeah, no, I already erased those.
So that being said, I wouldn't mind taking a nap.
Yeah, that might be nice.
You know,
Hit points.
the cultists do have little hammocks and stuff that they seem to have brought.
Sweet.
I guess we could just hole up in here.
Yeah.
Sure.
You notice they have food and everything too. For 11 people.
Guess I'm cutting into one.
Do they have lettuce?
Do they have the lettuce? The dragon, the leader one, he's a carnivore. So, let's see. Actually, quite a few of them have there's like a refrigerator that they brought as triangle sandwiches in it.
Oh, Magneto can use the fridge.
You guys moved, but he has made himself a nice little nest there, and he's still sleeping right there.
Oh.
So you guys take a short rest, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys can do your short rest stuff, and as you're sitting there and cooling off for an hour, you notice that there seems to be this aura where all these flakes seem to conjugate around him, almost like a force field kind of thing.
Cool.
You're thinking maybe it would give him an EC bonus with all that metal floating around him.
Hey.
But you notice
Here I'm thinking it's a way to help him feed by bringing food to his mouth.
Why, he's also a good boy, and I want him.
You notice it's only small pieces, no bigger than a silver dollar. So it's not like the plates and the metal grates are going towards him or anything. He's not crazy strong magnet.
Is everybody feeling? How are you guys feeling?
What is like
I'm only down by about 6.
Okay. Goss?
I'm good.
Okay.
So
Trying to see.
I'm assuming you guys build a little baby cage. equivalent where you gotta use tables and stuff to make sure he doesn't.
Yeah,
Doesn't
I was
leave.
just gonna put something across the door.
Um,
I mean, unless you really want to take him with you, Hertz, which I would suggest against, because there's a good chance he'll die.
you know,
Because if he's so little, like my healing spells can only do so much. If one blow kills you versus knocks you out, I can't bring you back. I can't do that kind of magic yet.
you see one door, or a few doors in this room besides the one you guys came in from. That was the stairway. You see it's clearly labeled stairway. Like it's got like the symbol of like the guy going upstairs. You know. There's different scientists' offices down here as well, and there seems to be an exit to outside, like up on the mountain somewhere.
Okay.
From here, you notice that one of the scientists' doors is like really heavily enforced, and it seems to have been barricaded from this side, like something like the cultists were trying to keep something in it.
That's not nerve-wracking. Maybe we'll take a rest before we deal with that.
Yeah, this is. I'm saying like you guys get your rest, and while you're
Yeah.
resting, you notice this stuff.
Well, first, because I thought it was hilarious, this is the image that I was talking about. This person took a picture of the puppy, and then turned around, and this is what they saw when they looked out the window.
That puppy looking up is pretty much this magnet Ladon looking up at you guys.
Oh, it's so cute.
I love it. Okay, so when alright, where are we going?
Well, there's still the stairwell that we haven't gone down. And then apparently there's a thing in this room that's blocked up, which, like, I'm curious about. So, we could check that out.
Can I like put my ear to the wall to hear if
Hey,
there's
Pam, how's it going?
something back there?
Yeah, sure. Give me a perception check.
I'm rolling a shit today. 6.
You swear you can hear a voice on the other side. It's just like really muffled out, like maybe someone's voice.
Guys, there's somebody in there.
It seems to be constantly going. By the way, there's like no real pause.
I guess let's open the door?
Well, before we open, you gotta think. If these things have blocked it, one of two reasons. It's something that poses a threat to them potentially, which might be a friend to us, or it's somebody they really hated, in which case, maybe we don't want to be friends with it either.
Enemy of my enemy.
You notice that
No, but it might just be an obnoxious member of the cult.
You notice they quite heavily reinforced blocking this door to the point where they actually seem to have emptied out one of these tube incubators, and possibly all the cultists combined were able to shove it over to the door. And then they have like tables and stuff.
I mean, yeah,
blocking it.
we're big bad 6th level adventurers. We're not afraid, right?
With your Tinker Tool stuff, you realize that they it looks for a moment like they look like they tried to weld pieces together to keep them in there, but it's so crudely done. You're pretty sure they didn't use a blowtorch. You're thinking maybe the leader did like his breath beam thing or something, some like makeshift welding.
Alright, it seems to me that like they wouldn't just put it up if it was just some dude. Like they would have just locked the fucking door and left.
Oh, what's up, dudes? We got the surfer dude in the chat, man. Blake's
Hey, Blake!
Tesla Dragonborn. I think he got to play for the previous moments. He was a surfer dude.
Well, I guess we can investigate it, won't you? So we slowly move everything away.
Yep. What?
I don't know. It's just it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
I look around to the Well, no, we don't know how big is what's in there. I'm assuming that one of these dinosaurs got out and was bigger than, the one that we found, and maybe it's angry. But I don't know why it sounds like people.
The
We can always move everything back and re-weld it.
That's fair.
do you use your welding stuff to unweld it, like melt off the? Because it wouldn't take you long at all.
Yeah, just de-weldify.
Okay.
Unweld. It's feeling very unweld.
Is there a lock, perhaps?
Even though your sword can't do this, he says it while you're working. He's like, de-weldify. I don't know. But you're starting to get pieces off, and you hear loud stomping on the other side, and the wall. There's like this really loud bang, just this really loud thud, like somebody tackled, threw themselves onto the wall, and you guys see the wall dent a little bit.
Maybe we should leave. Magneto, let's go.
I have a doubt.
Okay. Let's go.
Give me a perception check.
Give me a what?
Mr. Welder, give me a perception check at disadvantage.
Stay on the pad. 7.
You can.
If I'm an 18,
I'm just imagining that you're trying to weld it, and the door just goes boom, right on top of you,
You can hear this voice on the other side, but you can't really make out what it's saying, especially over the blowtorch noises.
Huh? Got me stop? Stop?
Yeah, we're making a leave. Let's go.
I'm curious now, though. But all right, let's go.
Make up your mind.
Come on. I just. Misty Step. Is that? Can I do that through walls?
You have to
only
see
if you've
where
seen
you're
the
going.
room.
What?
You have to have a view into the room. So, if there was a window, it would work.
Okay.
Shoot a hole in the door.
I mean, yeah. Why don't we do that? Drill a hole into that baby.
I pull out my hand and my drill.
That way we can not go.
I'm like, I don't know if I have the right drill bit for this.
You can pull out one, and it's like this thick. He's like, I don't know.
Try something like this, like an inch.
Because you have to have the right kind of drill bit for the right kind of material.
Yeah, of course, of course.
And mine's mainly used for thin metal and wood. This might be too thick.
This is quite thick steel as you drill through it, but after a while yeah, what's up?
Hey.
Technically, there's nothing stopping me from using my halt degradation to see if there. Okay.
It's corruption first.
Oh no. Okay, it's within a. I guess I'd have to see a creature. I was wondering if I could see any corruption on this thing through the door, but I don't think you can see through a door.
The I'll say we'll make it function like most divine spells work, like with locate object and stuff, where
So, it
certain
can't
the thickness of material it can't go through.
Yeah.
This steel is thick enough it can't detect through it.
Okay.
Until he drills a hole through. As he drills the hole through, you hear, "And here lies the Minotaur as he waits, wondering what the noise is coming from. And then the noise suddenly stops."
Oh my god. I look through the door and I'm detecting corruption, but Visca's already convinced that thing, whatever's in there, is corrupted.
You detect 4 layers of corruption.
You
see-
The funny thing is, though, both Kat and Visca would know that this whole thing, the narration, is a corruption thing.
Give me a perception check, because you're just looking through this hole.
Oh, yeah.
I'm assuming quite quickly, too.
We make a leave.
21.
Oh, nice. You see a Minotaur, and he seems to be Most of his clothes are in tatters. It looks like it used to be a lab coat at one point, but there's barely bits hanging off. He doesn't have any weapons on him, and you notice everywhere that he steps, his hooves leave a bright glow. And he seems to twitch with that corruption kind of thing, as he's just staring at the hole right back at you. He's like... And the Minotaur notices that he has company. You just hear this voice booming from inside there. It's not coming from the Minotaur. You're not sure from what. And it appears that the guest is equally confused and is trying the friendly route. We'll see how well that goes. You recognize that as one of the multiple properties of one of the possibilities for corruption.
Yeah. I was picturing that both Visca and like real life made me realize that at the same time. I may or may not peruse the corruption table a time or two.
For the folks at home, this specifically says you have a loud narrator saying everything that you do, and everyone can hear it clearly within 30 feet.
God.
He is now confused, wondering if they were going to continue trying to get through the hole to get him out.
Are you friendly? Do you think it's cool to be our friend?
The Minotaur ponders for a moment. Unable to speak in the normal common tongue, he's thinking to himself, I don't want to hurt anyone anymore. And he is conflicted. As he sits in the other side of the room, trying to contain his rage.
I turn to Hertz. I'm like, hey, do you remember anything in that Red Radiator thing talking about corruption?
I heard halfway through the other side of the door, holding Magneto. I was like, what? She's about to make a leap.
There's a Minotaur in the room with a lab coat. I'm guessing he drank the soda and turned into a Minotaur and can't get back out now.
You hear?
What is your name?
You hear through the hole, and they start to discuss about the possible backstory of the Minotaur. Well, unfortunately for them, it is lost in time. Even the Minotaur does not even remember himself.
This is very useful.
Yeah.
No, actually, really is.
You're welcome.
It's like the thing.
The Minotaur understand his own narration.
The Minotaur ponders for a moment, wondering what this noise is coming from. First, he hears it from the door, but it seems different than the noise he's been hearing for who knows how many years, trapped inside here.
He doesn't think we're real.
This is okay. So
too bad he only knows Abyssal, according to the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition Monster Manual.
Dude, fourth wall break, dude.
You're welcome.
Okay, I think Hertz was like foot halfway the door, and he's like, he was trapped in there for many years by himself, and she like does a like 360 and is like, get him out of there, we gotta get him out of there.
Little do the adventurers know that he also blocked himself in from this side, in fear of hurting his friends that he once knew.
Oh, we have to save him!
Are his friends alive, narrator?
I mean, everyone in the room is dead.
The Minotaur looks at the wreckage in the room, wondering where the noise is coming from. He angrily, and then you hear like on the wall, slams in the door with frustration.
He probably doesn't even know where I is. Does he not see through the hole?
He looked at me right through the hole.
Might be too dark.
Little do they know he has dark vision, but is blinded by rage.
I fucking don't, though, so, like, we have to have light in this room or else...
Wait, I got an idea. I, take one of my Slim Jims and put it through the hole.
That's actually what I was going to suggest.
The aroma of jerky fills the air, along with the musk and sweat from the Minotaur. He sniffs it curiously, and you feel like the breath of him sniffing through the hole.
It's like a nature documentary.
No, I'm just imagining, like, when you try and give a treat to a dog, but you don't know whether he's going to bite the shit out of you or not, so you just, like, carefully put it through the bars of cage.
You feel, as you're, like, carefully putting it in, it quickly gets pulled in, like, quite violently gets pulled in. The Minotaur consumes the snack.
Okay, Hey, so this is so frustrating. Every time I try to do something in this, it's like, oh, we can't help those baby theme moves that we saw in the beginning. Oh, we can't take the dinosaur with us.
No, we can help this.
Died. Oh, we can't save this.
This is easy.
Because
No, we can save the
corrupted.
No. He's probably dead too.
I mean, if we could probably tie him up.
Wait.
I mean, I'm sure that I could.
I got an idea.
You hear the announcer, he keeps repeating himself, and he's like, and the Minotaur chews on the beef jerky. And he continues chewing on the beef jerky. You're just hearing this, like, while you guys are talking.
Wait. Got an idea. I go and pick up whatever his name is, the dinosaur.
Feed the We may not feed the dinosaur to the bull.
I take it over to the hole and say, hey, look at the cute animal. Does that make you calm down?
At the different audible sensation into the Minotaur's ears, it gets up, startled, hearing that same noise again. It heads over to where I thought I heard the noise, as you feel like the booms of it stomping towards the door.
I just like try and tickle its chin off camera so that it does like that cute cooing sound.
Animal handling.
Just bite the hell out of me. Watch. Yeah, I got 12.
It doesn't. It's like. It doesn't try to bite you, but it doesn't look comfortable.
Like, Mom, please stop.
Yeah.
You know, it's like barely awake. It's kind of looks like it's kind of grumpy, like it just wants to go back to sleep.
I'm just imagining a less violent Garfield.
Oh yeah, this is Garfield. Just squeeze him through the hole. He'll take care of it. Don't worry about it.
No! With her +2 strength, she's gonna keep that thing away from whatever is Minotaur dude.
Many documents scuffle through the room.
Meaning what?
Ah.
As the Minotaur turns around and goes back to sit down.
Okay, I got an idea. Do we want to try to make this guy our friend?
Yes.
I would love that, but I think we need to have a plan in case it doesn't work and he tries to eat us. Do you
Now-
What was
Now the Minotaur is frustrated due to not having any more of that delicious snack.
I'm going
wait.
to cut
Oh,
so
that's
we can
smart.
have a
Wait,
better
yeah.
communication other than a drill hole.
That's smart.
Family folks.
so friendly. Was it, what was the, language that he speaks?
Narrator.
You remember the narrator said Abyssal.
Abyssal, okay. Because I know him from...
He sits there pondering, wondering when he could possibly have that tasty spicy palate back into his mouth once more.
Once I cut the hole through this, we can talk about it.
You hear on the other side.
Oh, yeah, I'm so sorry.
The Minotaur grunts in frustration, wondering when he could possibly get another piece of jerky.
It's really nice if we had like some kind of spell that could make us know a different language or something.
I do not know anything like that. But you can see that Hertz is getting, like, really frustrated that she can't, like, fucking do anything. And, like...
Oh, play your music. It might soothe them.
Oh yeah, make her a friend.
Fine.
I mean, worst case scenario, nothing happens, and you just sit
Sure! I'll play Savage Dragon.
When you I thought you were like play Dragon Force. I'm like, wait, what? That actually probably would work. But anyway, the
Do I need to roll for that?
performance.
I got a dirty 20.
Suddenly, the Minotaur's, as you're playing, you can like hear inside the hole. Suddenly, the Minotaur's ears perk up as it hears a melody that it has never heard before. Suddenly, rage seems to cease for the first time in its existence. It ponders, wondering what this feeling of complacency is, as it moves towards the sound of the sweet, serenading music outside. It's like stomping towards the hole.
I'm just imagining you're gonna get this window in there, and he's gonna come through the wall.
I got it.
And then leave like a minotaur-shaped hole in the wall.
Oh yeah.
We all know that Hertz already has an in with Minotaurs, so this is fine.
What
That's
did you?
actually the thing that.
What did you? Yes. Were you making what? How big of a hole are you making here?
It's big. Big enough so we can see through. So.
The Minotaur peaks on the other side
Big enough
to a
to fit
completely
in.
different world. On the other side, it sees a few smaller creatures, and an even smaller one down below that seems to be resting. It hears from the one in the back where the music's coming from. It's his arm reaches through and almost punches you. The Minotaur attempts to escape his prison. That he has realized that it's the
He's
shell of the world.
Against the solid
As he
wall.
realizes there is more to existence than the room he was in. In frustration, he rages. And you hear him get really mad and he starts thrashing.
Open the door!
And the hole actually starts getting bigger as he's just forcing his way through. This good a few inches of steel.
Wait.
It's taking him a while, but he's...
Narrator.
After a few inches of steel, it is quite the resistance for the Minotaur as it attempts to escape the horrible prison that it is residing in.
Narrator. Not everybody speaks the same language. Can you narrate in Abyssal and Common?
I think he understands the narrative.
The lizard-like creature attempts to communicate with this ambiguous voice in the sky. Unfortunately for him, it is unable to do so. As the Minotaur continues to
Wait, do you have
attempt to
subtitles?
go through.
I think.
Surprisingly calm in this situation as the beast tries to rip its way out of the cage. It's
He does it?
almost like he's almost to where he can get his shoulder out now, and he's you can just see bloodshot eyes, and he's as he's trying to get through.
God. This is the only thing I'm good at!
That's not true.
I'm suddenly really sad we didn't take a long rest because I can't do that shield thing again.
And he just starts thrashing, and then he uses his horns, and he's ramming it into the wall, and there's loud banging, and it's echoing everywhere. You're pretty sure that even Verm could probably hear this.
Oh yeah.
Now, I'm trying to help out. If you stop thrashing.
And when it tried to gore with its horns, one of the horns actually did go through the steel. It punctured through the steel.
How do you get trapped in there?
I don't know.
After
Idea.
It's probably from another planet that don't know how to open doors.
okay, you're pretty sure within a few in-game rounds, he's going to be out. What are you guys wanting to do?
Do you have anything like manacles on Sir Barksalot?
I'm not that kinky.
Wait, no! I
No,
believe
wait, you genuinely do though, because I remember
Yeah,
when
you
we were
do
in
have
the Brown nightclub,
Yeah!
we chained up those bandits.
We joked about that before, too.
Yes.
The
Now
Minotaur.
the other question: they were handcuffs. Will they fit on the Minotaur?
You notice the Minotaur is definitely large size.
Probably not. Cool.
Big
Shit.
I wish I had useful spells, but all my spells blow shit up. So,
I wish I had spells.
The Minotaur backs up.
Back up! Back up! Back up!
Oh,
Back
oh,
up! Get out of the way!
Is the door loose enough that I could just open it?
You're is the door loose enough? And I could just, and then all of a sudden it just bursts through as he charges through, head down.
yes!
Is he accompanied with a
Oh, yeah.
And with blazing fury, he charges straight towards the sound that he wishes that he could have more of. Unfortunately for him, he is blinded by his rage.
Wah! I grab the cloak and go, wah!
What's your AC?
My AC?
Yeah.
My AC is 60.
Okay, he just misses you as he was charging head down towards you.
Okay, can I say that I, as he's
Roll.
charging at me, I'm, jumping on top of him and covering him with the VR club.
Roll initiative.
Ah!
Just her or everyone?
Everyone.
Hey, you know,
Whoa! What the?
What was that?
Someone did radiant damage to their microphone.
14.
14.
Roll. Who has the better dex?
Him.
Okay.
I have a 0.
He's a Power Ranger. He's gotta have good deck.
How about Hertz?
I got 5.
Nice.
Huh?
Nice.
14.
I'm gonna do some sick dope shit. So sad.
Yost, you go first.
Um,
No surprise round. He just charged blindly, and he went through the door. And you're not sure if he intentionally went to attack her or not, but he kept going, and he just missed her.
Can I still say that I jumped over him? Like I climbed him and jumped over him.
don't really want to hurt him bad, but when you try to
I have
help
one
him,
more spell. I can heal him if you don't outright kill him.
I use my draconic attack on him.
Oh shit, you've never used that.
Maybe he gets a con save.
I mean, you use it as often as I use my laser vision.
Do you like?
Literally for nothing more than a warning flare.
I'd like to think you try to get his attention so he looks at you first, right?
Look! I'm a target!
The Minotaur looks around, seeing or hearing the familiar voice, and then con save.
Yeah.
What's the DC?
Good question.
It would be your con is your for Dragonborn breath attack save stuff.
Could be 13?
13. A bright flash goes onto his eyes. For brief moments, he only sees white, but he quickly gets his vision back. So he made his save, so it's half the damage, right?
1.
1 damage?
That's half.
He's
Oh, okay.
I only roll a d6. Wait, have I upgraded? Or is that something?
Dragonborn, I thought was 5th. I thought it was every 5 levels the breath attack gets better. To the player's handbook! Okay. Breath weapon. At 6th level, it goes up a dice.
oh nice.
Oh! 3 damage.
Beautiful.
He feels a wince of pain
His head.
in his head. As the voice he heard before, he realizes is now a threat. This guy, your turn.
Okay. I'll go over here. This is decent.
I can do it. Why the fuck not? Hertz is on one side of this guy. Oh no, you're on top of him. Shit, I can't do that.
I mean, I was not told if I'm on top of him.
Hertz, give me an acrobatics check.
Okay. I got 17.
Okay, you were able to dodge out of the way, but I'm not going to go as far as to say you're on his back. That's like a grapple.
Cool. I apologize then. I'm gonna get my second set of arms and
Mhm.
I'm gonna fucking try and tackle him. I wanna grapple the Minotaur.
Quickly, before his thoughts can get back to him, he is tackled. But
I don't remember what I do for this. Do I
it's
do
a strength saving throw competition.
Okay. I thought it was
Against,
an athletics versus like
yeah, you're using athletics, and he's going to use either athletics or acrobatics against you. It's contested.
that's a 17.
Okay. A smaller
Do I get
creature
a
with
bonus?
4
Because-
large arms attempts to actually.
I do have 4 arms.
I would say you would have been at disadvantage because you were size
Okay.
increment smaller, but you have 4 arms, so that negates the disadvantage.
Okay.
A smaller creature attempts to tackle the beast, but to no avail. You notice it's just like you see Visca just like here's the Minotaur, here's Visca, right? She's like you just like bounce off of him, and you're just looking up at him like
Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay. His turn.
The Minotaur deliberates his decisions.
The universe ponders for a moment.
Oh man, that's a cool line.
Thank you. I know that's sarcasm.
No, it's not!
Totally not
I'm
sarcasm.
a nerd.
The universe ponders for a moment. Am I real? Does anything exist? He takes 3 psychic damage. Anyway, so unsure of how to behave in this situation, he goes to what his instincts tell him to do, and he rages.
Ah, fuck.
No, your instinct is to use the bathroom.
He backs up and then he charges at Visca.
Hey, big boy! I'm gonna try and throw my shield up in front of me first, but yeah.
Do you have it out currently?
I wouldn't, because I did the 4 arms thing and I just tried to jump him.
Okay, he got 25 to hit.
Yeah, that's a big ol' hit, yeah.
He seems to move surprisingly to the group's expectations are thrown out the window as this huge beast moves much faster than they anticipated due to the possible corruption. He almost jaunted 10 feet back and then ran real fast towards you. And then the universe rolls damage.
Glad we took that short rest.
The little wolf lady takes 11 piercing damage and also has to make a strength saving throw.
I love the narrator voice.
That's a 9 strength save. And it took 11 damage.
Normally it would be 11 damage, but he charged, and she takes an additional 9 damage on top. He's saying this as it's happening, so you probably don't actually hear this, because you're getting tackled essentially, gored and tackled.
Yeah.
You failed your saving throw, and you're pushed 10 feet into that room. You're just in that room, and you're prone.
Cool.
And there's blood dripping from his horn. And you see Visca has 2 giant holes in her chest. He goes to pick up one of. Now hers aren't daggers. He goes to pick up one of the tables, and that's what does the rest of his move. Hurts.
He's literally using a wrestling move on you.
Hurts.
Okay. Do I know if I'm not sure. I'm just asking. Suggestion: does the person need to know the tongue that I speak?
For
what?
For what?
For suggestion, does the creature need to know what language?
That is a good question. I can look that up real quick. Ugh. Suggestion. Hear and understand. That's what it says.
Okay. So no. Alright,
Sorry.
that's fine. So I'm gonna try and climb up this his back as he's like attacking Visca and like.
Oh, that reminds me. Visca, you actually take 4 corruption damage and you need to give me a corruption throw.
I have advantage
Thank goodness.
because incorruptible. I need a con save, is it?
No, it's straight D20.
Oh, shit. Cool. Alright.
It's like a death saving throw, except for corruption.
Ah, that's cock. Be good to me, Blue Dice. Be good to me. That's a natural 20.
Yay!
Okay.
It gets corrupted.
But you did take that extra 4. Do you have resistance to corruption? Or is it you have
No, I
advantage
think
on...
it's just advantage on the saves versus it.
Okay, I think eventually you do get resistance to corruption damage. I remember
Probably
correctly.
later, but yeah.
Because
Really wishing we had leveled up before we came here.
my friend Jake picked the same class as you, and he really liked that like anti-corruption kind of thing. He wanted to run around with, I think, 2 great swords or something. Anyway, so it is
My turn.
still your turn.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that I'm gonna jump on top of it, and then I'm just gonna try to put the VR cape on it.
Okay, give me an athletics check. It'll be really low DC. It's just for the jump.
Alright.
D&D rules for jump are very video gamey, so you can jump much higher than you probably should be able to.
12.
Okay, boy. and then for
Oh,
the
I do
VR
like a
cape,
running, like I'll do a running jump and then like slide up to my skate distance.
then I have the VR cape. Let me a second. I changed the DC. I changed the DC of it from 20 to 15 because
That's
most
fine.
magic items the saving throw is 15.
Yeah.
That just kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Let me pull it up. Just take your time, computer. There are multiple different simulations you could give him. That's why I'm pulling it up. So he needs to make a dexterity check. That's kind of weird, but okay.
I imagine it's him trying to dodge the cape going over his head.
Yep, he failed. So you get to pick between horror, space, conflict, or paradise. Horror: the viewer is subjugated to nightmarish visions and otherworldly predators. They spend their turn running in a random direction, fending off unseen attackers. Probably a really bad idea for the Minotaur.
Yeah.
Space: they become confused, disoriented. They stumble randomly in this 15-foot circle area. They
Okay.
become sick and must make a con save, or they vomit on their action. Conflict: they become agitated as they're thrown into a losing battle, and they stand their ground and fight off unseen attackers. Very bad idea.
Yeah.
And paradise: the wearer becomes calm and relaxed as a beautiful paradise stretches before them. They may decide to lay down and take a nap.
That one.
Yeah, that sounds.
That sounds nice. Yeah.
Okay. You notice her cloak does like the cloak from Doctor Strange, where it just like kind of seems to move on itself. That wraps around, making sure it doesn't get on the horns of the Minotaur's face. He's like, and she's piggybacking on him,
I like give Hertz a hand down as he I imagine face plants on the floor.
The cloak she's still wearing it, so she's kind of like attached to him in a way.
Is he gonna take a nap or are we just sitting here for a while?
It's not his turn yet. It is Gust's.
Can I say just aesthetically, so she doesn't be wearing a cape? I think that the VR cape looks sort of translucent, it camouflages.
Mm-hmm.
So it but once if she's using it, you can see it moving. It's weird,
It's got the Red Annie logo on the back of it because that was the first place prize.
I'm just imagining a cloak that's actually those bright sheeny raincoats. The plastic from the 90s that somehow is rainbow.
It's essentially like that, and the inside of it is the VR grid.
Mhm.
So.
You can see it on the back, but in the front, it's the VR is working inside of it. That's what I'm imagining. Like it's like invisible from the front, invisible from the back.
Magneto goes, and he starts running away. Just kind of like stumbles over himself.
It's not my turn yet.
It's Yost's turn now.
I
I'm just saying the baby goes after all of you. So.
I will do nothing, but I will have a reaction to hit him with my axe if he overcomes the cloak and attempts to attack us again.
Okay. This guy.
How far do I think that dinosaur can get in just a few seconds?
Not very far. There's a lot of stuff in the way, and he's little.
Oh, cool, I'll catch him later.
He's gotta like, it's difficult terrain for him, essentially.
We'll do the same thing. I'm waiting, and if he gets aggressive again, then I'm gonna attempt to tackle him again.
Okay. It is his turn. His breathing seems to steady. He doesn't go to sit down and take a nap, but he does drop the table he was holding.
I mean,
What's the narrator saying?
I guess that's something. Oh, yeah.
For a brief moment, there is a flash in his eyes, and suddenly rage seems to disappear as a memory from long lost appears in front of him. He sees his wife and daughter as they're sitting at the dinner table. And his daughter asks, "Dad, how was work today?" And he says, "It was just fine. We were trying to make this new energy drink. I think you would really like it. It's cherry flavored. But I think you're not old enough for it. Might wreck your room." As he pats her head. And he just keeps going on this narration of like a 50s family eating dinner.
Fisk is definitely not getting teared up. She's like trying to hide it.
He didn't make his save this round. He gets to make a roll every round, by the way.
I'm not crying, it's fine. So, what we do with this?
I'm gonna look at it. There's like there were all these vests and everything. Are there like wires and shit that we could maybe use to tie this guy up?
I don't know. Let's see. Yes.
I'm gonna.
Thick power cables.
Alright,
Adamantium weave lining.
If I want to tie him up, it's gonna probably take him out of the VR.
Really? I mean, I'll just hold him and you can tie him up.
I like to think you're like on a metal bowl thing, where you got like one hand down on the cable, the other hand's like up.
It's just like, yeah, it's fine. Just grab some cables. Oh, I can hold on. Her, like, you can tell, like, hers is like pretty buff. Like, she's fine.
I'm not so much worried about that. I'm worried about the fact that if we touch him, he'll have advantage to come out of the thing. Yeah, but whatever. No, I'm gonna try it because I don't know what else our options are at this point.
Yeah.
I'm gonna attempt to tie up the distracted Minotaur. He's not sleeping.
He is not sleeping.
Nuts, you can help.
Essentially, he's just standing there, and his fans were like clenched into fists, but they seem to have opened up just slightly. They're not like he's not like fully resting his hands down, but
yeah.
For a Minotaur, he is calm.
Okay, well, I help with what they need help with.
He's the equivalent of, if you guys have seen Infinity War, where the chick's on the top, like doing like the sleep thing on Thanos.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like that's pretty much what the Minotaur. That's you guys are just having an Infinity War moment.
Yeah.
Luckily, Yost isn't like, "You fucking killed my girlfriend." Yeah. Luckily, you don't get any of that going on.
As I help him, I do rub his belly, trying to keep him calm.
God, no.
Are you serious?
What? Me now.
Give me a charisma check.
Oh my God! Don't do
damn
this.
it.
Possibly persuasion if you have it.
I can intimidate him to be calm.
I don't think that's gonna work.
This is a bad idea. Would it be animal handling?
No.
10. Straight.
Okay.
Oh.
He doesn't seem to react one way or another.
What's the narrator say?
He's still talking. It seems to be going through like
He's
the
just
afternoon,
narrating
like
the dream.
post going home. It goes to like him being in the backyard watching his daughter go down the slide in the playground in the little plastic slide he has in his backyard and stuff.
Her is just kind of really frustrated at this point. It's like, do something!
I'm gonna try and tie him up. I thought Yost was gonna help, and you just like
I said I'll help you tie him up. While I'm doing that, I am rubbing his belly.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna make this like I'll say he has disadvantage on the checks because you're helping.
Okay.
Since Yost is helping. This was supposed to be like just the most minor of feels, where I was just like, oh yeah, he used to be human, whatever. And now we're here. So
Now we're here. I will.
good thing that was disadvantage because he had a nat 20.
So he's not moving.
No. Well, he's not moving from that 5-foot square or whatever square he's in, but you see his hands do seem to like go to reach out for stuff. And as the narrator talks, it matches with what the narration is. Like now he's got like a baseball and a glove, and you notice the Minotaur with his left hand is like this.
I don't want to, but I think our only option is to put him back in the room until we can figure out how to help him.
You have ear corruption? Oh, wait.
I'm getting there. Like, I know I can get the hang of it soon, but I don't have it yet.
Let's slowly get him in the room.
we just
gonna-
leave. I'm tired of this.
Yeah, but like eventually that's gonna wear off, and he might come for us, or he might walk out of here and kill the not owlbear babies, or some rando that he runs into on the way home.
With your past perception, you see the baby is very poorly attempting to hide under one of the tables that's right.
I'm gonna very slowly start
it's-
attempting to drag
it's-
the Minotaur into the.
Its floating magnet horn is like poking out as it seems to be looking over, like, what's going on?
Magneto, you stay safe. I'll protect you, my son. I think that
Oh,
like you can see like that it's like the more you hear the narration, the more frustrated Hertz gets. She's like, ugh, I'm really pissed off at this point.
I forgot to mention, on the floor, like in that room, the floor is just like glowing, and you see, it seems like every single footstep he takes, there's a clear print of like the hoof where it was, and it's like a bright blue glow. And it goes out to here. He seems to start wandering in random directions, like going with his narration. And when he gets to a vat, he'll bump into it, but it doesn't seem to knock him out of the trance per se.
I'm gonna very gently try and herd him back towards the room.
Give me a wisdom check.
Can I help by doing
Yeah,
turning-
she'll give you advantage.
Oh my god. This is just d20 plus my wisdom.
Yeah.
So dirty 20.
Okay.
I rolled a 4 and a 19.
After a bit of effort, you're able to lead him back into that room.
Cool.
Hertz just barely is able to awkwardly duck herself into.
I'm gonna suggest you maybe if you take the cloak off, will it not work?
Since you're attuned, you know how the cloak works. It'll immediately
I got an idea.
it's done.
I'm
So I
going
can
to
take it off.
seal everyone in there. Hertz is going to Misty step out.
Yes! You can do that, as long as we keep the window. Then we just have to seal up the window after you leave.
Let's do it. Good plan.
That's what we do.
Okay, so you quickly start trying to weld everything back together and close up the door.
And I've got my eyes trained directly on whatever I can see through there, so that if he comes out of it and tries to hurt, I'm gonna eye blast him with my lasers.
Okay, you hear, like, as he turns on the welder and there's like this... In the narration, you notice that the story seems to change just ever so slightly, where he's just like, the narrator's like, and the man says, "Honey, do you hear that noise? Are they doing construction on the other side? Are the neighbors doing construction?"
So bad.
You know, stuff like that. It seems like the noise is affecting the story. Like, he can hear the noise. He just can't see it.
Yeah, it's basically just a waiting game. I was very anxiously standing on the other side of the door as Yost is trying to seal this thing up, and I'm like,
some noise.
glaring.
So, as we do this, we gently tell him, when you wake up, or when you go to work tomorrow, there's going to be some strange people, new employees. They're your friends. Don't kill them. I mean, it's something.
I think hers is just like,
just like silently sobbing on his back.
She's just like, okay, so like I'm imagining she's like not sitting on top of him, but like her feet are like she's like.
You're essentially piggyback ride, right?
Yeah, well, like on his shoulder, like she's standing on his shoulders, like a rodeo, like trying to like pull him on like with the cloak on, but like she's she's just standing there like looking at him like really like just it's getting like increasingly like uncomfortable. I think
we broke hers.
Alright, honey, I'm off to work. It seems to have gone to like the next day in the simulation. And she's like, have a productive day at work, honey. Oh, don't forget your key card. Remember, it's in your left pocket. And he's like, oh, right. And you notice that the part of his coat is just sitting over there and there's like a badge. But you're like 10 feet up. I can't wait to show you what we've made at work. See it tonight, honey.
This is like trying to like keep a good beat, but keeps doing like this. Like, fine, keep going.
Where'd these onions come from? Get me out of here!
Yeah.
They're all over me. Oh God!
It's like, oh God, what?
Magneto's just eating the onions.
Like, you didn't tell me that the blowtorch makes your eyes water. And he's just like,
okay, I got something else fit. So your eyes are watering, right? You go to like pan over and you see Magneto is chewing at the door of the refrigerator, and the refrigerator is open, and there's a bowl of onions. And he's just like, as he's like kind of like tugging on the door, trying to.
I'm just imagining like those refrigerator doors that are heavy enough that they can sort of like swing back and forth with the weight of them. He's just like holding onto the handle, just swinging back and forth.
Kind of doing like the dog tug of war thing. He's just pulling.
Yeah, where like there's a rope tied to a tree, and he's just like, I'm gonna fucking get it.
Okay, so the narration's still going. I rolled for quite a few rounds. So what do you, what is your plan?
I
think it means your exit plan.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you attempt to do anything before your exit plan, you notice that there is a bunch of papers scattered everywhere. No way you'd be able to make them out without like actually spending a few seconds to read it. But those few seconds could be quite lethal. There is a computer in here, but it has been smashed to smithereens. And the only thing you really see that could possibly be of value is that key card. that is attached. That is still attached to his life jacket. It's got like those like little like you clip it, and it's got like the little zip thing.
Can I attempt to get it? So what I'm thinking is like she's holding on to it like on like both feet on the shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna swing around to the front of him and grab the key card.
Give me an acrobatics.
Oh, okay, I'm fine. I got a 24.
Okay, so you're just like you're swinging around, and you're like here's the key card in your hands, like, and then you eventually use your foot, and you like get your foot to knock it off, and then you like reach with your hand and grab it, and you got it. It takes like 3 rounds, but you eventually get it.
All right.
You,
Are you guys?
you see
It's done. I really want
It's
to
done like 2 minutes ago.
you see a half-elf male's picture on here, and his name is Robbie Hawkins, Professor Hawkins.
Then if you're done, I'll
just like through the door. We're done. Come in.
I'm gonna poof out,
Ra-
and I'm just
Radiumologist, specialist in radium or something.
she's gonna poof out, and then she's gonna like get it as far away from that door as possible. Probably to the direction of Magneto.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just like urge you toward the puppy.
After he's got it welded shut, so everyone out here can't really hear the narrator anymore. He's just muffles. So you just very briefly hear just muffles and like this really, really loud roar and a bunch of clanging in the room.
Gertz is just gonna like roll herself into a ball and be like,
We'll come back and help him later.
We'll come back for it.
I hate everything.
Wait, am I playing Retroverse or Ravenloft? Oh.
I'm sorry. Oh, look at
Maybe
this.
lost his
Straw
computer.
shows up and kills everybody. Oops.
A certain somebody in chat knows all about my sad times with Ravenloft, my dear.
I'm gonna take my I guess
And
probably not a sword, like a marker or something. I just want to draw the holy symbol of Alpha Z on the door. We'll come back for him. And we know we can fix this. We've had it. We've dealt with it before.
Yep. Turning into a rage-induced minotaur. Happened a lot in high school.
You don't have to. I think we maybe need to sleep.
I think that like for the first time since you met her, hers is like silent. And she's just like, this is the worst.
I think we need to sleep more than just for. I think we just need the rest. We didn't see any other doors on this floor that were like any other rooms in this floor that were safe, were there?
Seeming to
It's
break
basically like here and then the slime room.
the silence and break something else, you hear a clank noise as Magneto finally gets the door off the refrigerator.
Oh, he's a comic relief.
Juxtaposition is interesting.
Oh.
At the same time, hopefully he doesn't become scrappy.
Oh god.
No, he is a scrappy because he eats all the scrap metal. It's been so long since I've gotten that look from you for fun.
You notice he's making quite a mess of the refrigerator, and the little bits that like go to fly somewhere when he's chomping on the metal. They like go to fly and they like halt and they like orbit back onto him.
Cool.
And you notice he has like these floating, almost like patchwork armor made of very tiny pieces of metal. Actually, kind of, yeah. They'd be about that size
That
pieces.
we sit down and we take a sleep. Not so much just for the fact that I'm almost completely out of spells, but mostly just for the we could probably use the psychological help of a rest.
Visca's got blood like out of the two horn.
No, this is definitely
functions.
like there are two big ass dents in the armor where those horns went in. That's the most damage I've ever taken in a round.
Yeah, yours has several bullet holes.
Even
wounds. And she's just like really mad and just like
technically
Victory sucks, you guys.
The Terminator 1090. My brain is saying 1098, but that's a fucking tax form from work. The Terminator.
From the future because you failed to file taxes in a proper way.
Oh no, the worst.
Retroverse in the future, their IRS is just full of nothing but Terminators. It's just robots.
It's a Terminator because it terminates my 401k.
Yeah, but I think the Terminator was the only thing that put that much in one round.
How about when he gored you, he got you really good in the eye?
Oh, you! It's so cool for the story, and I hate it so much.
Your eye still functions though. Like you were probably panicked immediately after that. But it's
no. I've had many eye injuries in the family. There's no. Visca's fine with it. Katrina, real life, has issues with things touching eyeballs.
Oh, I was referencing more your picture from the future.
Oh no, that's I know what you were going for.
Which we gotta change the date on things.
Oh, did you show him that thing that you did?
I sent it to him.
Yeah, the Excel document essentially.
Yeah.
With
I love it.
500 entries on it or something.
I love it.
It's technically.
Okay, for anybody watching who doesn't know, when Scott first started this, he said the year is 20XX.
Yeah.
And he set up this thing, and it's like, okay, so this is how you determine the year, and he like did this formula for it. And Kevin's like, cool, what year would it actually be? So he started doing the math, and for some dumbass reason he started at like 2000 instead of the year it should have been. And it's like 800 entries later, he's just now got to the year we're currently at.
Oh my god.
Quick, Scott decided to do 20XX and then decided that years are 20XX, 20XY, etc.
20XZ.
I created the roll of years. From 20AA to 20ZZ is 676 years. So then you go to 21, where in the past was 19.
The picture is from the year 2021.
I mean, it didn't have a date. Because, like,
Yeah,
I just know it's not me now, because at the time I didn't have an eye patch and a badass scar. I think I had a scar.
You had a really, really big, like, you're not sure if it was a burn mark or if it was like a slash mark.
Like a Zuko style?
It looks like it looked like in the picture, the future you had it for quite a while, and your fur had grown over top of it.
Yeah, I think it was more of like a line than a burn.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, that's super cool.
But you
I don't think Vince come to Visca's realization though that things are starting to look a lot more similar in that picture.
Visca probably slightly worries remembering that picture, but your eye is it's still worse and stuff. Like he just missed your eye. All right, so long rest or short rest in sad times in the sad lab of sadness.
I'm gonna say long rest. I think we need sleep. We just need like the psychological restoration that a night's sleep can do.
Yeah, I think that like basically what happens is Hertz like gets out of the room, goes as far away as she can, and just curls up into a ball and falls asleep.
I eventually find her and like lay a sleeping bag over her.
Magneto like comes over and curls up next to her, but only after she's asleep. So you probably wake up to him sleeping next to you.
No, you wake up to him stealing your side of the bed. If you can't tell, some little asshole in the family steals my side of the bed constantly. He steals everybody's side of the bed. His favorite thing to do is go to the middle of the bed and then lie sideways.
You do notice that when he does get close to you, that magnetic pull he had before, you don't really feel anymore. But he seems to have like this full makeshift armor aura around him now. So this it seems like what he's already got on him seems to negate it enough so that way, you know, like if you have bullets or a gun or something, it doesn't go flying towards him and stick on him or something.
I love it.
So yeah, you guys get your long rest. It does take you guys a bit to get that long rest because he does ram himself against the walls every once in a while.
Yeah. I still say we should have a watch. I can take first one.
Oh yeah, we definitely need to watch for a second reason too. Make sure
He doesn't get out.
no, Magneto doesn't eat your armor.
I would not murder it, but I would be very tempted.
Yeah, we gotta make sure he stays away from the tasty Vesca.
That's good. Give me an insight check.
He's looking at you and licking his lips. 20. Dirty 20.
You do notice he's been eyeing your armor specifically. But it hasn't been like coming up. He hasn't come over and tried to eat it. But it's definitely the magnetodon. Definitely.
Just make sure that there is a lot of random scrap metal between it and me.
It's a baby. It's easily distracted. It was like it like sees armor and it's like, ooh, metal, ooh, you know. After the long rest, it seems a little more, you know, not incubator mode. And it's got to stretch its muscles and stuff, and it's got to eat. So it actually starts like hopping around and stuff. It seems
It's cute.
maybe not hop because I can't see Triceratops hop, but it's wobbling happily around.
I'm just imagining that sort of like wobbly little like skip thing.
He trips
that,
over
like,
himself.
puppies do.
He trips over himself every once in a while.
Oh, and he's top heavy because he's got the crest, but he's still tiny.
You notice after the long rest, that aura of like the flakes and stuff, they actually like shrunk down and attached themselves to him. So he looks almost like he has metal scales.
That's
Except for his horn and his eyes.
Jesus Christ. Dog just took off at like 20 miles an hour.
His
Get
big
the toy that Kevin just threw.
baby Triceratops eyes poking out of it and his horn. Little stubby floaty horn.
I just imagined he's probably making eyes at Sir Barks-a-Lot, making Sir Barks-a-Lot a little uncomfortable.
Surprisingly, he doesn't seem interested.
Oh, okay.
He's shaped like a friend.
Make him run away.
I would say his sword is made of a lot more than just metal.
Fair enough.
Yeah, magic and
Yeah.
whatever the.
Here, I was thinking
It is.
Ivan Carver, but yeah, that one.
Morphtanium.
More funtanium. We'll just go really bad. It's made of really rare material. It's hard to obtain. It's called unobtainium. I get morphtanium is actually cool. We're gonna go with that.
Yeah.
The Zordanium.
I gotta write down
The Zordonite.
the like.
It's made of Zordonite.
thing.
Word of night is cool.
Sorry, Blake. He says, "Ack my brain." So you guys got your long rest. The key card looks like it clearly goes to that back door that leads outside.
Okay. Question, just because I'm writing things down.
Mm-hmm.
What were the not owlbear things that we saw at the front of this place?
Those were called boar hawks, and I think I actually just got rid of it on the overlay.
It's
Unfortunately.
okay. And then this guy is called a Magnodon. Okay. I see
It's Magnet Odon. So Magnetodon.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
I assume you guys do like quick scan up here in the other rooms that were like the other laboratories.
I would say we probably wait until tomorrow, though.
I was just gonna do it real quick, and then we were gonna
okay.
end here tonight.
Take about 3 hours with the filing cabinet again.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this definitely won't have that much stuff. The you don't really see anything too much of interest. It seems like each one of these scientists were like the heads of their departments or specialists. You're assuming that guy that you barricaded was for the radium, the red raditar stuff. There's a guy for the sunburst. There's a guy for the wyvern one. The one in the wyvern one, you see his clearly dead body. It seems like he was rended by something decades ago because he's just a skeleton now. Like there's an arm like over here and his skull's over here, you know. But more concerning than that,
It's like so old. Could we tell whether it was a minotaur or whether it was something else?
it was. You can give me a medicine check, but before you do that, he has like this nice foolproof glass wall, and it seemed to have something captive in there. But the entire wall on the other side has been blasted apart, and you can see outdoor, and vegetation has started to grow in there.
Huh. That's not a bad time.
Oh, and the glass itself is shattered, I should say. That makes sense. Now you can
Cool.
medicine check.
So whatever required bulletproof glass is now just out in the wild. Nice.
Yep. You can do that medicine or investigation in this room.
I'm gonna try a medicine, yes.
I was going to say, you guys have done enough investigations. No.
10.
You're pretty sure it wasn't the Minotaur.
Well, I mean, at least there's that.
You see clear claw marks in the metal that it was some kind of slashing damage or something.
I was actually going to ask if there were any tracks or anything, but it's been so long that if it overgrew, there are no tracks anymore.
In the rib cage, it's like completely, like, the ribs are completely shattered, and you see this, like, weird, it's pretty much turned into resin now. Maybe it was a liquid at one point, but it's just, like, distilled and turned into a solid kind of black goo. And it seems like something, like, punctured through him and through the floor down below.
I sincerely doubt it would last this long, but would lingering corruption still show up with my whole corruption or whole degradation thing?
Yeah, and you don't sense it in here.
Okay.
And
so either it was so long ago that it's not around, or it was never corrupted, or you just didn't leave anything behind.
if there was corruption, it was very, very, very small. And I wouldn't even be counted as a layer. Equivalent to Hertz when she drank the red raditar and she had the lingering horns.
Yeah.
But we'll end there. Because I was like, oh yeah, I'll just beef up this Minotaur and you guys can have a fight and they'll be all hunky dory. Anyway,
That
so
shit with the dinosaur. That was a fucking roller coaster, man.
so
Good times, good times, good times. I did definitely not have sadness thrust upon me.
so
I'm
on a
genuinely
different
wondering,
note,
this is one of the only times that we've seen Hertz actually depressed and sad, isn't it?
Yep. I wonder
even
what
in the
that's
maze
about.
that you were. I think even in the maze you were pretty upbeat.
And except for the fact that she got captured constantly, but you weren't there for that part.
That's fair. we didn't hear that. We just heard you yelling and then followed you.
So you don't know, but like I think that like after all this stuff, she's probably claustrophobic.
Oh.
And you don't even know half of it, so
Oh god, it just occurred to me, if you're claustrophobic, how terrifying being in that small ass room as we welded it shut must have been. Oh, I'm sorry.
and on that note, anyone got any plugs? Maybe Aya first?
yeah. Dungeon Academy on Sundays. Always fun. Not sad anymore. We have a Spelljammer, so that's great. Not
nice.
this week. Next week. Because this week we're doing. I'm probably gonna be on Waffle Talk on Sunday, so that's gonna be really fun.
Cool.
which I don't know the time yet, but gonna be talking about DCA and all that jazz. And
on what Twitch channel will you be on?
Power Score RPG, and yeah, and yesterday, Dungeon Academy was on the Dungeons and Dragons Twitch channel, and it was crazy. And oh my gosh, yes, dreams do good for you guys. And another thing that we just started working on this week. I'm doing a podcast with these two cool dudes here and there, wherever you might be, excluding Kat, but we're gonna be playing Sailor Moon together, so that's okay.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a not Dungeons and Dragons, but big eyes, small mouth RPG with superheroes and cute teens. Lots of nerds, so join us for that.
Hi, how are you?
All of them are nerds. It's fantastic.
I have obviously we have the we play Adventures in the Trackless Sea with Scott tomorrow at 7 Eastern Standard Time.
We'll see how sad that's gonna be.
Yeah, we're going to the abyss to fight for our friend's soul.
You're in there.
I was there last week. Good time.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's gonna be fine.
They need Lilia so bad. I watched that. You would help so much in their predicament.
Yeah.
It doesn't make me feel any better. I feel so much worse. I'm scared now.
Listen,
Yeah.
If I could, I would join you. Like.
Yeah. So that's tomorrow at 7. Tomorrow at 11 Eastern Standard Time, 3 UTC. I'm going to be playing another 5e game over at RPG Lab on Twitch, and I am playing Callisto, a Minotaur Paladin of Devotion, and I'm excited. I hope I'm gonna have fun. And then, oh god, let me see if I can find the name of the Twitch. Oh god. Sunday I'm going to be playing Stars Without Number over at, give me a second, I gotta find the link because I just learned about this 3 days ago. It is at Yogscast on Twitch. And it is spelled Yogscast, Yogscast. And we're going to be playing Stars Without Number, which the description of the game was Dance Dance Revolution. It is a space musical.
Amazing.
So, I don't know how that's going to go. I don't know anything about our characters. They're going to be all randomly generated, so hopefully it's cool.
Sweet.
So fun.
I found in the Red Zone. I'm trying to remember what was that one DDR or something. That name or whatever.
I do not remember. I remember so little about DDR. I just remember being terrible at it.
I guess I'll close with same time tomorrow, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard. We'll be doing Tranquil Sea, going to the Scarlet Moth's Abyssal Lair. Well, they're there now, but now they gotta try to find their friend's soul in an entire layer.
And I'll
Hey,
read
you guys are
down
in the abyss next week.
2
Oh, wait,
highest level spells.
So, yeah, I got that. And I think Call of Cthulhu Sunday at 4:30 on Jay Briggs 79's channel. I forget if we're playing. It's Tuesday at 7 o'clock, either Tuesday or next Tuesday. So yeah, and I think I'll be playing my Kenku Butler this Sunday on the channel as well. I don't remember what time. I think it was 3 o'clock, but can't. I won't know for sure. I'll definitely be tweeting it on the Twitter and all that. So.
Yeah, so many things.
Yeah.
Things. I'm so excited.
I'll close on another note. I was really wanting to, if we weren't doing the race, I was going to have a beach episode, and you guys are going to have to fight a watermelon mental.
Interesting.
But I mean, that's always a possibility in the future.
There's always the future, my dude.
So on that, we'll end it there. Thank you for watching,
Yeah.
and we'll see you next
Thank
week.
you so much.